Okay, everybody, thanks for waiting. Welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And I'm here with Aaron Sparrow.
Hi, everybody.
Aaron, who's been a semi-regular here on Clownfish TV, is fresh off of watching the She-Ra reboot trailer. We cannot show you the reboot trailer in this live stream because something really strange happened yesterday.
Yeah, like everybody else can do reaction videos to the trailer with the trailer playing in its entirety, except for us, apparently.
Well, everyone can do positive reaction trailers.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
I actually sent you. If you look, I sent you a picture of different ones that are up currently. Go across. We're gonna talk about that. Okay, here. There's one. There's two there that are up currently, and go over one more, and those are up currently as well. And look at his face, like, oh, it's the bestest thing ever.
Yeah, that guy really likes his.
Oh, but okay. So let me ask you this: if you're not allowed to like She-Ra, if you're a white guy because all you're interested in is her boobs, if you like She-Ra now as a white guy, is it okay because you're like their version of She-Ra, even though she's a girl, you like their version, so it's okay? Yeah. You're not allowed, if you're a white guy, you're not allowed to like She-Ra as the original version, but you're allowed to like the current version. That's fine. I mean, just make sure I'm getting this correct.
Yeah, something like that.
I have to make sure I get my hypocrisy straight.
Okay, so yeah, so basically what happened yesterday, we did a live reaction viewing of the trailer. Of course, that's the moment we've all been waiting for, especially Geeky Sparkles. Now, earlier in the day, we actually live streamed the live stream at the She-Ra talk they had at whatever they call it, the stage at New York Comic Con with Noelle Stevenson, some of the voice actors. And we actually had I think we had 350 or 400 people watching our live stream of their live stream, which only had about 50.
I think that was about 250. We had 350 to 400 on our trailer.
Right. But anyway, we had like many times more people than were watching the official stream yesterday on Sci-Fi, which was crazy. So we did that. We had our comments. Later in the day, they dropped the trailer. We did another live stream so we could watch the trailer together, right. And we did, and it was great. We talked about it for about an hour afterwards, and then almost immediately after we shut the live stream off, we got flagged by Dreamworks copyright violation for having the trailer. Now,
we don't know who we got flagged by.
We don't. Well, no. It said it was a Dreamworks. It was the claim was Dreamworks. Now, the thing about that is, okay, that's fine because, YouTube, it's got its algorithm. It does that, the audio visual matching, and it will find videos that they believe are not yours, and it will, take them down and contact the copyright holder. And I would believe that, except for the fact that several other people have their reaction videos up with the trailer playing in its entirety, meaning I personally believe somebody, we're not saying Dreamworks, somebody flagged our video specifically.
And here's the thing. Normally, when we have an issue, it's resolved within 12 to 24 hours. And we are past that now. And I think it's being deliberately stalled out. But why? Because New York Comic Con's this weekend and all the buzz is this weekend. And we can't have one of the top video searches on YouTube being about people who don't like it.
Yeah, because actually
this is my hugs and kisses to you discussion, I guess. I can't even speak.
Yeah, so we're doing a reaction again. We're gonna kind of take it piece by piece.
Our reaction to the reaction.
And then we'll talk. We'll have Aaron jump in here and we'll talk a little bit about his thoughts on it, as I know he's a Masters of the Universe fan. And then we'll talk about just the 80s never ending. Because it seems like we constantly have to reboot everything. So that's why we're doing this video. We're not going to be stopped by whoever tried to stop us. We're just not going to play the trailer in its entirety, but I will jump around from frame to frame.
Will you jump up and get down?
I will. So, Noelle Stevenson flagged it because she was salty. I think she's probably too busy at Comic-Con to worry about us.
Okay, so what are we doing now?
So we're just going to kind of go through the trailer because we can do individual frames, right? So we got the Fright Zone.
Who knows?
I'm sure everybody's seen this trailer. If you haven't, I'm gonna put the link in the discussion.
Make sure Aaron's caught up.
Yeah, make sure
the amount of views on the trailer suggests that not everybody has seen the trailer.
I know. I was
only 100,000.
And the reactions, the thumbs up and thumbs down, are very like a small amount compared to the amount of views.
I think people stopped caring. I think it was like, oh, cool, She-Ra's coming back. Oh, that doesn't look too good. Okay, we're done.
Yeah,
we're out. It's just, I mean, you'd think something like this would have like a 500,000 views. New York Comic Con weekend, heavily promoted, but I just don't think it's getting the love.
So somewhere in the Audrey Islands.
So we've got.
No, you didn't catch that. Never mind.
I didn't get that.
Well, you know, the kids today, they didn't grow up with She-Ra,
No.
and neither did a lot of the crew, apparently, that's working on the show.
Yeah, well,
that's
last
a
time
whole nother
we're going to talk
discussion.
about
We're
that.
going to talk about all
in a
of
bit.
this. So
I hadn't seen
basically,
the trailer until just now, but I did watch that super cringy panel.
Well, we love the fact that they asked them flat out, did you watch the original She-Ra, you know, when you went leading up to doing this? No. And Noel Stevenson's like, no, I didn't watch it, but I played with the toys. And then pull up the tweet I sent you on your Facebook. Then on Facebook during the panel where they put the go back there, when they put the live stream up, or they put the video, the trailer release at the panel, they posted this to Twitter. I hope kids see our characters and experience the same joy that we felt when we watched She-Ra in the 80s. She wasn't born until 91.
I know.
Well, was that the official She-Ra site? Because maybe it's just the...
No, that's the official Twitter. That's the official
yes, but
Twitter.
the quote is at Ginger Hazing. Ginger Hazing.
She said this on
that was her
panel.
quote.
Yeah.
And it's like I mean, I think she meant it later.
I don't know.
So here's a great character. Here's a fantastic character. She's the epitome of awesome. What a groundbreaking, amazing character. She's so important and special. But I know there's a lot of things wrong with her. So let's do it. We love her so much, but she's still shit.
She's problematic.
So we got to do it again, but make it our way.
Shit, we're gonna talk. Okay, so I gotta say real quick, DCV Titan, thank you so much. You did not have to do that. Not allowed to like the older, mature version of She-Ra, but we have to love the new, younger version. I'd say I was surprised, but we are dealing with ideologues of a certain bent, and we're going to talk about that in this whole thing, in this disrespect toward the original She-Ra, Masters of the Universe franchises, and She-Ra herself, what She-Ra herself, the original voice actress, thinks about all of this.
Aaron was going to say something. So go ahead, Aaron.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm just... go ahead. Let's you go ahead. And then
we're good. We're good. Go for it.
Okay, so I just watched it for the first time before we came on. I thought we were going to stream it, but then you guys told me that we can't because they'll flag you.
Yeah.
So I went ahead and watched it right before I came on. My initial reaction was, it's fine, I guess. Like, it's not for me, obviously. Of
course it's not for you.
It's not for me as a person who has supported the brand for, most of my life. And that's fine. I mean, things can be made for different people, I guess. But my initial questions in watching the trailer were, why would you not give us a sense of the threat that they're fighting? Like, there's no real threat from the Horde. There's nothing that they show that makes me understand the conflict other than that stupid bit where the guy's saying, they're called the evil Horde.
Yeah, I know, right? Who calls us that?
Yeah.
Everybody?
My second thought was, are Catra and Adora lovers? Because they definitely kind of like do that special friendship kind of thing in the trailer. But then later it looks like Catra feels betrayed and becomes the captain of the guard, and maybe there's some conflict there. So those were like my two immediate takeaways, aside from not liking the art style. Actually, there's that scene where she's turning into She-Ra, and her hair is flowing, and it looks beautiful, and everything looks like that moment. I was like, oh, this looks really cool, even though I don't care for that art style. And then it pulls back, and then she becomes She-Ra, and it looks like she's got the shaved head where the tiara sits, and then just like the mullet in the back, like there's no, like, I wish that there was some kind of like flowing hair on the top or something that just looked more like just more dramatic, more She-Ra-esque. I guess would be. It's fine that she's younger. It's fine that she's younger. I don't really care about that so much. I just wish that, I don't know, like that the way that she looks when she's She-Ra is not impressive to me, and it mostly comes from that shaved look on the top of her head, like her hair's all matted down or something.
Well, maybe she doesn't wash her hair very well.
Saves money. They don't have to draw extra lines. It's probably that simple.
I just like when they mean you mean when Adora became Sailor Moon. I mean She-Ra. I mean that section.
Yeah.
That's a very fair criticism.
Yeah.
Actually.
So we'll just kind of go through a recap for those of you who haven't watched this. Trailer did drop yesterday afternoon. We did show it in the original live stream, and of course we can't now. So basically, She-Ra and Catra are fighting. They're both members of the Horde. We've got Hordak, which the silhouette's pretty cool. I like that. We've got Shadow Weaver. And and they're talking about how basically Adora is being watched by Hordak to become Captain of the Guard. So she's not Captain of the Guard already in this version.
No, she becomes it. She hands her the. Remember?
Yeah, oh yeah.
She gives it to her, so now she's Captain of the Guard.
Yeah, she gets the little...
Shadow Weaver looks. At first, I was like, Shadow Weaver looks kind of cool, and then the more I looked at Shadow Weaver, I was like, she looks like Kane from WWE.
Yeah, I know, right? And then of course we have Merle from Escaflowne, Every Cat Girl Ever as Catra. Non-threatening, I think, compared to
we can't have the villain be threatening.
Yeah.
What's the fun in that?
She looks like a character from Hyper Police.
Yeah, kinda, yeah.
They're very anime. The new style is very anime. So,
well, don't insult anime.
So apparently, no, and that's not a bad thing. I just, they've taken some liberties with the design, and it may or may not work. I don't know. But so basically, Adora and Catra are rivals / besties / a little something more.
We don't know what. We don't know.
And Adora, something goes down.
Oh, look, there's Hordak.
There's Hordak, and we'll talk about Hordak's do here afterwards. So.
Yeah, my name on Twitter right now is Hipster Hair Hordak.
Hair Hordak. Well, we have another theory about Hordak. So she's suiting up. She's committed to the bit here. She's
looking at Catra's revenge.
She's looking at Catra's butt. She's wondering what's out there. This is the Fright Zone, which actually got right. I think the Fright Zone actually looks right. I think the backgrounds actually look right.
Well, the backgrounds have been great. Oh, you missed her. Go back a little bit. You missed her. Oh, look, I'm so excited.
Totally together. They're totally.
You can't get it. What's wrong with you? You can't hit the right spot.
Right there. There we go.
No.
Ah!
There. Just anyway, you get the idea.
You get the idea. She's very excited. Something happens. Adora gets separated from Catra.
No, I still love the part. They're on like one of the flying vehicles, and a vine comes and catches her on the throat, and she falls down. First of all, with her neck wouldn't have snapped. The fall would have killed her. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just pointing that out.
So we're gonna do. I mean, I'm not gonna try to do I'll try instead of doing a blow by blow. We'll just talk the basics. So basically, she finds the sword. The sword is not given to her by He-Man. We don't know if it comes from Eternia. I'm assuming Eternia is in it somehow because they do mention Grayskull. She goes all Sailor Moony here, kind of.
Yeah, look, she's one named Sailor Moon.
Flare.
They don't need He-Man and his toxic masculinity.
No.
Yeah, and
now and Steven Universe characters show up.
Yeah, and then she's transported to Steven Universe. No, but we've got Glimmer. This is new Glimmer, if you're not aware, and new Bo. Her new besties. Cal, no Madame Raz.
People in the Discord are mentioning, they said they're trying to promote body positivity, and she's like thick in the legs and the hips, but she's got no stomach and her face isn't fat.
Okay, wait, this was something that came up in the live stream yesterday of the trailer. They kept saying like body conscious.
Yeah, the body conscious.
Kept saying like body conscious, and I was like, well, I mean, I'm all for helping people feel good about themselves and things like that. But if you want to use the term body conscious, I mean, as somebody who's carrying around more weight than he should, it's not healthy. Being body conscious would be being healthy, not saying that no matter what you're great. I mean, it's just a fact of life that the more weight you're carrying, the more unhealthy you are. The more strain you're putting on your joints, the more strain you're putting on your heart, your lungs, everything, all of your organs.
Well, not to mention the fact that Glimmer is the captain of the guard. Well, she was she was in charge of, not the captain of the guard for Hordak, but on the good side, she was a soldier. She was out there fighting all the time and stuff.
Well, not this Glimmer. She's part of the Princess Parade.
Oh, that's right, the Princess Alliance.
The Princess Alliance
that never existed. Okay.
So I don't know what's up with Bo.
Is she supposed to be heavy, or is she just supposed to be thick?
She's
supposed to be chubby, from my understanding.
A thin face and very thick ankles.
Because she could. Sure. I mean, from the art, I can't really, yeah, she looks.
That's what people were saying. It's like it's hard to tell.
She looks overweight, but like if you wanted to do like body positivity, I would say that'd be fine if she was thick, but like just more, like just bulkier, like a shot putter or
She doesn't walk because this version of Glimmer has wings.
Well, those are pretty strong wings.
Like fairy wings.
She does not evoke.
I'm upset.
Glimmer all to me.
If I wanted wings to carry me, they had to be pretty strong damn wings. Anyway, hold on. Here you go. You gonna read it?
Oh yeah, thank you, Terry Bogard. You do not have to give us money, but we do appreciate the support. 5 gets you 20 since Bo has gay dads. They are going to have Catra uncover feelings for Adora, and we'll never see He-Man ever. I am wondering because they mention later on in the trailer that they talk about She-Ra returning, like she was some ancient legend, and I'm like, Is this like the far future, like He-Man's like long gone and?
But why do they have
long
Glimmer
gone
still and Bo still? And everybody around us happens to have the exact same names.
I don't know.
That doesn't make
By
sense.
the way, you know what bothered me yesterday during the live stream is when the voice actor that plays Bo was shitting on the original voice actor.
Yeah, but that I'm furious about it. We'll talk about that. Let's talk about that after. Let's go through kind of the, take people through. So basically,
people are mentioning 8 foot tall is more than a head taller. Yes, they keep saying she's so super tall, but it depends on which panel you're looking at how tall she is.
Yeah, so we'll just do real quick because I think everybody's probably seen it already. They probably watched it yesterday.
Backgrounds are really nice.
Yeah, backgrounds are nice.
The backgrounds are great. Like, that was the first thing we said when we saw the art. We're like, wow, I'm not really sold the character designs, but I mean, it looks like Etheria. It looks very much like the original show in that regard. So
I do like Adora's outfit.
It looks like Adam's kind of.
Yeah, it looks like Adam's. It's it's a smart little jacket. I kind of dig it.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
I don't even hate, and we'll talk about this too. Like, I don't even hate the concept. I just don't like it applied to She-Ra.
Yeah, it's not.
Is that fair?
If you took She-Ra out of it and you just saw a show, it wouldn't be that bad of a show. But it's not She-Ra. If that makes sense.
If this was something new,
oh, they don't do things that are new.
Well, we're going to talk about that.
Or if they do something new, they have to make everything else that comes has to look like it, like Steven Universe.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So anyway, she's this is a very different origin for her. Apparently, she's been kidnapped by Glimmer and Bo. She winds up somehow with the sword. Here's the little joke. It's called the Evil Horde. Who calls us that? Everybody calls us that because, haha, they're awful. Catra doesn't like it that she's, switched sides now. Angry face.
And somehow she could sneak right into the palace, but okay.
Yeah, Angela actually looks really good.
Yeah, Angela, she even has the same kind of outfit. She looks pretty good.
So
I have no complaints about that.
Yeah, Angela gives her or lets her keep the sword or whatever happens. She's She-Ra, and then, whoops, she's Adora. So everybody knows that She-Ra has no secret identity at all.
Unlike Adora and the original, where only a couple people knew, everybody knows.
If nobody knows that she's She-Ra, how would she be able to be emotionally validated constantly?
That's right. She needs everybody to. Good job, She-Ra. Awesome job, She-Ra. Rocking that hair.
You're the best. Adora.
Yeah. So she switches sides, and
now we got
look at Glimmer's body right there.
Wait, I missed it.
Oh, do we see her?
Where Dora's holding the sword?
Oh, I missed it. But go ahead. Wait.
Can't just play it through here. I'm gonna play a couple.
No, you can't.
Oh my God! Dreamworks is coming. Dreamworks is coming. They're coming for us. I can't get that one freaking spot.
He keeps not being able. He can't hit the spot. Yeah. It's like a problem with him.
Oh man!
I'm just saying what you said in just a different way.
You're gonna.
How is it?
Because you need a woman to satify you, Geeky.
That's right.
Everything
only a woman knows how to hit
comes off as a double.
Even when I don't mean it to.
Once.
Even if I don't mean it, if I don't mean it to, it always does.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Just the way I am.
What is up with Glimmer? Oh, there we go. Wait, no.
Okay, this is okay.
There she is. Dora's bored too. I don't know.
I don't know if on my screen it was when Adora. It's a front-facing shot of her holding the sword. Right there. Oh, you just had it. I don't know if there's a delay. There we go. But it's like when she's actually holding the sword, and it's just you can't see Glimmer's head. You're just seeing like the lower half of her body.
I had it. This one.
No. You want to see her lower half of her body when she's holding the sword.
Why
you
are
only
we
see
looking at there.
Yeah, I caught. Yeah. Apparently, if you're heavy, you don't have no boobs. Oh, because we can't have boobs.
Oh yeah, there are no boobs.
I don't think anybody has boobs, right? Are they all like 12? Is that? There we go. That's definitely.
I don't know. Some people say 13. Some people say 16. I don't know.
I don't know.
They don't have boobs.
We've heard. Yeah. Okay. So here we got Spirit.
There's that Swiftwind now.
Swiftwind. I'm sorry. We've got Spitwind.
Or no, he's. I don't know if he's Spirit or Swiftwind there.
So
if he had the head thing on, he's Swiftwind.
He is.
Okay, no, he's Spirit there.
Man. Wow, he's kind of derpy looking. Okay, so I haven't seen a good still frame of Spirit. I have a feeling Swiftwind is gonna be like the comic relief character.
Well, they have one of those virtual stickers of him going fabulous,
and he's going to sing. We know he's got musical numbers.
Yes, we did.
This has been confirmed. No, this has actually been
The
confirmed by
voice
the
actor said on a podcast that he recorded songs for it.
Oh no.
So anyway,
so
I wish I could lose weight depending on where you click on a video.
yeah, right. So anyway, so Catra, hey, she's got a tank. They're attacking a village or something. The Horde now, in this one, what I've noticed is, and this is one of these little things where I'm like, yeah, this show's gonna be very, very political. The Horde do not appear to be robots. They appear to be militant youth in police riot gear.
Is that dinosaur guy Leech?
No, I don't think any of the Horde are in it. I don't think
really?
I don't think any of the Horde. I haven't seen any Leech. I haven't seen any Montana. I mean, I wonder if
I don't see Castaspella with the Prince. Was she there? I didn't see
the
her.
only other character I think they confirmed besides Shadow Weaver for the villains in Catra was Scorpia. I think was the only other one. That they...
So it's like, look, she has boobs. It's a miracle. Yeah, well, you know, but her head's half shaved, so she's allowed to have boobs because she's got the half shaved head, so it balances out.
Again, the backgrounds. I freaking love the backgrounds. I think that they're. I think the backgrounds are gorgeous. I think it's a.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. This is Perfuma, I guess. She looks like Honey from Big Hero 6.
Kinda, yeah. And there's your military.
Power. Yeah, this is okay. I want to talk about that because
crowd control.
Yeah,
Horde Act.
So you know the concerns I had at being overly political, and I'm going to tell you. I mean, my thoughts on it once we kind of get through this. The Horde do not appear to be the iconic robots that they were in the original show. They appear to be teenagers or soldiers, foot soldiers, in what looks like police riot gear. Make of that what you will. You know,
and there's
Steven
Mermista.
Yeah, Mermista.
Because, you know, all the characters now, and someone mentioned this in the Discord, that apparently being... if you're heavy set, super skinny, or brown is their version of diversity. So now every character that, you know, was the princesses before, everyone except for like She-Ra are now ethnic of some ethnicity, have a different ethnicity.
Who's the girl in the turquoise? With
That's Mermista.
Yeah, she wears sweatpants and then she turns into a mermaid. She's also very sarcastic and quasi unlikable.
Yeah, no, I mean I saw that. I was like, yeah, that's gonna be the character that I was always like, oh, I'm so over it, you know, like that kind of character.
Yeah.
Is in all this stuff now.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go through here and see. I forgot to shut the phone off.
Okay, I took care of it.
Well, so do her sweatpants turn into like? Do they just like? Are they magic? Like how does she have to whip off her sweatpants?
We don't know yet, but suddenly has like a glowing tail.
Yeah.
No Asian. Yes, you know what? Actually,
no, we do. Here,
look, Frosta is now like either an Eskimo or an
Eskimo
Asian
because it's cold.
Because you know it's cold and we have to stereotype. I'm sorry. Be diverse. We don't do stereotypes. We just make stereotypes and call it diversity. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, no. I knew.
That's what they do. No, she has to be short now too, because Frosta was very elegant and tall, and now she's short. She's a short Eskimo or Asian, because you know it's cold, so clearly she has to be an Eskimo.
So at some point, I think She-Ra can grow to like gigantic sizes with this armor.
So instead of having her, turn female or more feminine with boobs, we just make her taller. That'll compensate.
Frosta looks so stereotypical.
I know, that's what I'm saying. On our board, on our Discord, there's a lot of very diverse people on there talking about this. And a lot of them are different ethnicities, and they're insulted. They're like, why does Bo have the stereotypical black guy hair? Why do, these are people who actually are these people are representing, and they're like, what the hell, Go ahead.
Nicholas Horton, thank you. Didn't have to do that. The reboot Horde Troopers look like Skeletor's army from the 80s. Masters of the Universe movie. You know what? They probably do. I've tried to block that movie out of my memory. I just really, my memories of it, Courtney Cox and Gwildor and fried chicken. That's pretty much
fried chicken.
Gwildor fried chicken. Like, I was so disappointed that the classic action figure of Gwildor did not come with a bucket of fried chicken. So
they couldn't get that KFC.
No.
Yeah, there you go. That's why waterbending. Basically, this is like that character was very Avatar-esque.
I was thinking Overwatch, but
I was thinking Avatar.
Throw some glasses on her.
Were you saying May or something?
Yeah, May.
If I ever meet Courtney Cox, the only thing I'm going to pretend like the only thing I have ever seen her in is.
Oh my god!
You should tape that if you do, because that'd be hilarious.
Oh, I would.
Oh my god, you're Courtney Cox! I freaking love He-Man. What have you been doing for the last 30 years? Have you done anything since He-Man? I'm worried about you. I really am.
I'm drinking because I need a drink.
You're drinking.
It's not the good stuff.
Yeah, Seahawk. Seahawk. And
Oh yeah, so these are the princesses, the Princess Alliance that Seahawk is now part of. Apparently.
Someone in the chat said Entrapta has the gout.
I'm sorry. They actually what they have wrong with them is called the Steven Universe. Is what they have wrong with them, because basically so the Steven Universe is groundbreaking and body and is known for being body positive and all this other stuff. Every show now has to look like Steven Universe.
I'm a terrible, awful.
Oh, it was Ribs.
Fan.
See?
It was Ribs, wasn't it? You know what?
I haven't watched. Last time you watched it?
Oh my God, probably 20 years ago.
I didn't remember this part at all. I told you about.
I
just am so awful. I never watched it again.
So he did. Okay, so I'll correct him. He didn't come with some ribs, so he was disappointed. Okay, continue.
Can I say though? So, in that movie, Frank Langella was brilliant.
He was. He was actually a really good Skeletor. I will give. It felt budget because it was like, okay, we've got these really cool props, these really cool, I mean, the look was good. I think Mobius did the art design, the character design, if I remember. So everything looked great, but they couldn't afford Eternia. So they like limited it to like one room in Castle Grayskull, and then they threw him into the suburbs. I'm like, oh, come on.
Now we gotta go watch this because we can, because we all.
Oh, Meg Foster was a pretty awesome Evil Lyn too. She had those really pale eyes. And it gave her,
I haven't watched it. I seriously haven't watched it like 20 years. DCV Tank, thanks. You don't have to keep giving us money. The Horde PD trying to keep down the poor unfortunate LGBTQ plus POC Otherkin Alliance. But here comes She-Ra to lead Antifa. I mean, resist. Okay. I do not want to get. I don't want to read politics into things, but I'm. That's kind of the vibe.
We're gonna mention a couple of things,
and I could be completely.
We're still looking at it. You be careful because we're leaving us on these screenshots too long.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Probably already
might
booted.
Come. The evil horde will come and shut.
And we'll
us
just
down.
do another video if they do. And we'll just do another video. And just do another video.
Down. So okay. It's got the LOL. So random kind of Tumblr humor. Okay, Sword. Let's do this. This is not.
That's why I talk to my car. Okay, car. Let's do this. Okay, phone. Let's do this. Okay, credit card. Let's do this and make Neon cry. Yay.
Yeah.
How many times do you think characters will say "Yay me"?
I don't know. I hope not.
Well, if you saw those stickers they had, the little stickers they had with
it was all like
Bo
affirmation stickers. It's like those stickers like, yeah, I adulted today. That's the kind of stickers they reminded me of. But I keep saying it's not for you. If you don't like it, it's not for you. It's for 7 to 10-year-olds. Bullshit. This is not for 7 to 10-year-olds. This is for the people on Tumblr.
Yeah, this is basically.
We'll find HordeX. We can talk about.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about. Okay. So that's a She-Ra trail. She does say for the honor of Grayskull at the end of the very end. So apparently Grayskull is a part of it. We don't know if Eternia is ever going to happen, or if they'll do like pull a Supergirl and bring He-Man in like the second season or something. That could happen. So I guess my initial thoughts is that if it wasn't called She-Ra, I might actually be somewhat kind of like, this doesn't look terrible.
I can see that.
I still think what happened was Noelle Stevenson wanted to do her own show. They wouldn't do her own show in the vein of She-Ra, her own fanfic. And so they instead said, we already own the IP here. We already have it. We have to do something with it. So why don't we just take your ideas and plug them into She-Ra?
Which is what drives me nuts.
Well, I'm pretty sure that's what they did, because that makes sense. But real quick, show the comparison.
Okay, so this is the first thing when they gave Hitler, Hordak, hair.
It's a brushable.
That was actually
that's key, brushable hair.
I was actually looking at the design. Other than the hair, I was like, damn, actually Hordak looks pretty good. Like, I don't.
Okay, now let's compare.
But So Hordak is a fascist leader. He looks kind of like a vampire and has
He's
a
got
small
the
child
Richard
with
Spencer,
wings.
the Richard Spencer.
Yeah, the Spencer hair. Yeah, we thought that too.
I actually had her Google picture. I'm like, I think this is like, why else would you give Hordak hair?
Because they're fighting fascism.
Yeah, that's the classic. So that coupled with the Horde looking like police in riot gear. I mean, that was my first kind of reaction.
You each have a skill.
Oh no, you don't.
Oh my God, I played more than 2 seconds. Here, we'll just go this. There's Mermista.
Oh, there's when she sweatpants turns into a tail.
Sweatpants do turn into a tail. That's going to be totally in the new Little Mermaid movie, too.
Well, at least she doesn't have to hide sweatpants around the ocean the way the Twilight werewolves have to hide jean shorts.
I'm trying to find...
Wait, look how it...
That looks awful.
No, look at the subtitles.
Bitch, bitch,
What?
how was still, but only you can do the horde almost. Oh my god! This is the best quote ever. Somebody screen capture.
Pick a picture of that.
I'm print screening.
Yeah, print screen that one.
Okay.
How was still, but only you can do the horde almost.
Bitch, how was still, but only you can do the horde almost.
Okay, now we're definitely putting that on a t-shirt.
This is like that Captain America in the Avengers game that's so badly translated, where like the living laser and whirlwind come out and they're like, don't interfere, and Captain America says, why not? Should it goes well?
Wait, we want to rebuild the Princess Alliance,
bitch. How was still, but only you can do. And then I think it's bitch out. Oh my god.
I'd watch the shit out of that shit.
We want to rebuild the Princess Alliance, bitch. Yes.
I think this is
gonna be the best show ever. Holy shit! I want to watch this now.
This was the meeting, man. Hey,
this was the meeting they had.
DreamWorks, hey bitch, we want to rebuild the Princess Alliance that never existed.
We got She-Ra, bitches. Come on, bring it.
Apollonar Lopez in the chat says subtitles go home. You are drunk.
Yeah, pretty much. So now when we did this video, we did the review the first time. We played the video, and actually what I said was, which apparently was so terrible that it needs to be banned, was I said, it's not as bad as I thought it was, because it's not as bad as I thought it was. It's not She-Ra. It's not She-Ra, but it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. And apparently that is absolutely terrible, and you shall be banned from your video should be banned from YouTube.
God. Yeah. So I think again, I think somebody just a vibe I'm getting is somebody, since the other reactions were allowed to stay online, is somebody flagged us. Now, I'm not saying it's DreamWorks. I'm not saying that. I'm like, you'd think they'd be too busy doing Comic-Con to do that, but it might have been an overzealous. And we've had a couple of people pop into our live streams before, write us that are very, very zealous new She-Ra defenders. I could totally see somebody.
And what did I say? Flagging. I said in the other video, you're allowed to like it. People were like apologizing. I'm like, no, you're allowed to like it. That is fine if you like it. But we were allowed to not like it. And that's the thing. I mean, this whole bull crap of you have to think everything is the bestest thing ever. If they, fart, you have to sit there and sniff it because they say it's great. You know what I mean? It's a new perfume.
Oh my God.
It's bullshit.
Perfume. We're going to rebuild the Princess Alliance, bitch. I'm just saying, like, the Horde troopers, and no, I don't think
it probably was, Jeff.
I don't think we are going to get the other Horde members. I think it's basically
not yet. Anyway.
Hordak is Space Hitler, and we've got a bunch of potentially brainwashed teenagers dressing up in riot gear and terrorizing the diverse peoples of Etheria. That's what I think.
Yeah, the diverse peoples. Yeah, the diverse.
Because they had like.
All women, one guy, two guys. They had one guy's questionable
people.
Male.
They had deer people, bird people.
How come those are represented as one of the princesses? How dare they?
Because they're too ugly.
Because they're against, anthropomorphic characters.
Yeah, there's lots of furries.
They're against otherkin.
So that's what I think is probably, and I could be wrong, but I think it's basically the vibe I'm getting from the trailer is Adora thinks she's in the right, working for the Horde, and these otherkin.
Well, that's how the original was too.
Right, but it was a little more complicated. Like the Horde was obviously evil in the original, but this one, I think, it's probably going to have political undertones, is what I'm trying to say.
They were 80s cartoon, and they were 80s cartoon incompetent evil, though. Like it was just the most like, superficial evil that you could deal with.
Yeah, it was just like, we want to rule the world, ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
and that was all you needed to know. That was all you needed to know. It was like they're bad guys.
7-year-olds, they need to know politically that they are extremely bad, like Hitler. Because remember the show's for 7-year-olds, right. and they keep wanting to point out all the time, it's not for you, it's for 7-year-olds. So I didn't, and Bo having 2 dads clearly for 7-year-olds. I have actually no problem with Bo having 2 dads, to be honest with you, because
he was pretty. I mean, I always thought Bo was supposed to be gay on the.
I always thought so too.
She never, because Bo was actually in the toy line. Bo was supposed to be her boyfriend, but she's like hanging out with Seahawk.
No, Seahawk's her boyfriend,
and there was no Seahawk toy.
Yes, but now Seahawk looks very effeminate. But Bo, I don't really care about that because you didn't really talk about who his dad or mom was before anyway. So he has 2 dads. Okay, that's fine. I don't really care about that. It's not changing anything on that. But I'm just saying that for all their claims that if you don't like it, you just are a jerk and it's not for you. It's for kids. Says the people screaming that are the ones who are like, oh my god, I'm meaning this up because it's for me. Well, I guess maybe at the mentality level, there are 7 to 10-year-olds. I don't.
There's like a new generation of cartoons, and I think I figured it out. It's like it used to be the cartoons were actually, and they did have some adult themes in these older cartoons, but they were designed, to entertain and teach, to some degree, children moral lessons or whatever.
Well, I mean, that's what they're trying to do here. They're trying to teach moral lessons to children. They're trying to,
I think
positive LGBT lifestyles. That's
right. And look, that's not the issue, I'm having here. I think the difference is
I don't think it is. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it just seems like now though that the cartoons now are designed for. They used to be, that kids would watch cartoons and want to be these adults. Now we've got adults watching cartoons wanting to be kids. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not. Right. They're for kids in quotes, but they're really for the 23-year-old sitting at home or living with like 9 different people in some apartment somewhere, eating cereal, watching cartoon, then going to Tumblr and making fan arts and they clearly know their audience. Like
these cartoons are made for fan art. That's what they're made for.
They are. This is.
If they're Tumblr
like
fan
again.
Art,
I'm trying to figure out how to. I'm trying to figure out how to like verbalize this without coming across as being really offensive. But this show in particular is like just a giant Tumblr fanfic. Like everything about it is like, fanfic, what is Tumblr going to like? And that totally makes sense given that Noelle Stevenson was literally like plucked off a Tumblr and thrown into the comics and animation industry. Like that's what she was, a Tumblr artist,
Cartoons used to be, these cartoons used to be made to sell toys, and now it seems like cartoons are made to sell ideology.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. That's true. I would say that's true.
Yeah, because what are they? They're not going to move a lot of toys this show,
But what gets me is everybody keeps saying, well, back in the 80s, like when they were complaining about the voice actor being very stiff and everything looked alike. Yeah, things looked similar in the 80s, but no more so than they do now. So Steven Universe comes out as a show, as a huge fan base. It's kind of about body positivity and it's kind of groundbreaking. So now everybody and their brother has to make their show look like Steven Universe.
Yeah. Oh, let's get into that. Let's get into the voice actor shitting on the original.
Okay, this pissed me off
because the thing
to Twitter. Oh god,
when
here we go.
Go ahead, Aaron.
When he said, the original, he watched like 2 episodes. I was like, oh, okay, great, But he's like, yeah, he was so stiff, and he's like this big muscular guy. You mean masculine and heroic as opposed to your Bo, who looks like a guy who would have to spend 3 days in bed after being frightened by a bird.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but the original Bo, I think, was an icon for probably a lot of kids that were growing up gay. They were growing up gay, and they looked to, and even to He-Man.
Yeah, I agree with you. And a lot of girls, I've heard so many stories from girls who've written me, and they're like so upset about what they did to She-Ra because like they always looked up to She-Ra, and She-Ra was so important to them, and She-Ra helped them become who they are. And now, but when they're upset about the fact that what She-Ra looks like now compared to what she looked like, people are like, well, you're just this ist and that ist and everything else because you don't want your beloved icon changed into a androgynous thing.
Well, let's talk about Buffy. Let's talk about Buffy now.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
Right? Yeah, you're not allowed
exactly.
to. You can't touch Buffy. The voice actor. Okay, so we live streamed the live stream yesterday. And we actually have more people in our live stream than they had in their actual official live stream, which is sad. And then they kind of panned out the audience. There was like nobody there, but it was Thursday. It was middle of the afternoon, whatever. But yeah, the voice actor for Bo just one, he seemed bored. But 2, he was completely busting on the original. And that has seemed to be the marketing behind this show, is that you can't say, hey, we got a new version of She-Ra. We hope old fans will come on board too. We're trying to get some new fans. It's going to be great. We're all going to be fans together. No, it's let's shit on the old fans. Shit on the original She-Ra. Literally, She-Ra's problematic. There's just oh my god, she's too pretty and she's got boobs.
The whole end of the day is, their insecurities are what's dictating what She-Ra looks like. I mean, that's what it
Yeah.
is. I don't feel like I could live up to that. She's my OC now, and so I'm going to make her in a relatable, something that's relatable to myself is what's going on. Something that's
I can't live up to He-Man. I never felt threatened by you know, the muscular bodies of those characters. I guess I don't know what's the argument that's also a male power fantasy. But it's like, okay, well, it's still an ideal that most men can't live up to unless you're, you know, going to work out every day, eat nothing but lean chicken and brown rice, and take steroids.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, it's,
yes, I know. But you're not allowed to like it because, you know, that's unfair and unrealistic, so you're not allowed to.
Yeah.
Plus, you're, you know, being white guys, you can't, your opinions don't count anyway.
That's right. We can't objectify people, but go listen to all the women in an Avengers movie whenever Thor walks in with his shirt off, and you listen to everybody.
Oh, that's okay. Oh, they have a new Aquaman trailer. I didn't get to watch it yet, but I'm sure there's a bunch of that, and the women are like, woo, you know, and that's okay. That's
you know what
totally
I don't
fair.
I watched that trailer twice. I don't think that he's shirtless in any of the.
Okay, well maybe not.
Wow.
Yeah, no, he's.
I haven't got
armor,
to see.
like
I haven't got to see
like
it yet.
sweatshirt. It's really good.
I didn't get home till late, so I haven't got to see it yet. But I want to see that movie actually. Well, what were you going to say? Now, are you going to read the thing? Are you going to read what the voice actor?
Yeah,
said?
I was gonna mention here. Well, one, I'm gonna show that. Okay, this was the cringy panel. Noelle Stevenson looked very, very uncomfortable yesterday.
She didn't look as uncomfortable as the voice actors as She-Ra did.
When they, and we'll talk about that. When they asked her, you know, how to deflect criticism, either she is completely oblivious to it, which is possible. She could be in a complete bubble. Or
I don't think she
is just like she doesn't give a crap, or just gonna pretend it doesn't exist.
I think she's probably an introvert, you know. So like
she doesn't seem introverted to me.
I'm introverted.
No, you don't think so?
I think she is. I'm introverted, and you would never guess that by listening to these streams. But I'm highly introverted. Go ahead. What are you
I
say?
do all the time. I am not introverted. I'm actually worse in person than I am online. So
no, Tom and I both have a deplorable excess of personality.
I'm the one that's like hide in the corner. You have to coax me out with chocolate or something.
So
anyway.
this kind of look. Okay, this is, I have a problem with this. I'm gonna tell you why. And this is kind of the whole enchilada for me, the whole problem I have with all of these reboots and the people, and there goes a motorcycle, the people, at least the neighbor's not mowing his lawn anymore, the people behind them trying to basically take credit for something they did not make. Somebody else built this, somebody else kept the seat warm for you, and you just kind of moved in and took over, and now you're like, yep, it's mine. So again, this is, you know, pretty innocuous. Like, I mean, it's not like she's being like, you know, but again, big daughter. She-Ra is not your daughter.
She old enough to be your mom.
She's old enough to be your mom. And if we're going to talk about, because this just tells me that she thinks She-Ra is hers. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not, instead of being like you are the caretaker of somebody else's.
Which is what we keep seeing with all these IPs. Over and over again. Comics, this, whatever. It's like you are hired to, you know, to write this character, but the character is still supposed to be the character. It doesn't give you carte blanche to go and change it however you want. And they keep doing it. And then they're like, why don't people like it?
Well, they did give her carte blanche, though. They, you know,
unfortunately,
this is not the traditional. So this She-Ra is her daughter. This is, you know, her version of, you know, her.
This is not She-Ra, though.
It feels like, again, like, you know, to Geeky's point, and I do agree with this. It feels like she actually wanted to pitch another show, and she just sort of like slapped a coat of She-Ra paint.
And that might not be her fault
name
either.
recognition, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want this fantasy show, or I want to do Nimona as a TV show. They won't let me do that because it doesn't have brand recognition. But let's take a lot of what I want to put into that and put it into She-Ra.
And that might not be her fault. That is a problem with the people that are running publishing and people that are running these animation studios. This is what gets me is they want these established IPs because they're like, you know, guaranteed money. But then they get the established IPs, and instead of keeping them, you know, mostly true to the established IP, they change them like crazy. Yeah. And then when the old fans get mad, they crap all over the old fans and yell at them, and they're, well, it's not for you. Well, it's like, yeah, it is, because you want our money, our allegiance to this product, and then you're going to just like, you know, slap us with fish or whatever because you can't.
Yeah, it's a weird like area to be in, because it's like, oh, it's not for you, yet it's this IP that exists and has an existing fan base. So, I mean, which is it? You kind of can't have it both ways. It's, you know, and obviously I think that anyone would, you know, they would love it if everybody who was a fan of the original show was totally on board with this, because that means you're going to buy the merch. That means that, you know, you're going to watch the show, you're going to buy the DVDs. But I think the knee-jerk reaction has been to vilify the fan base if they don't like
Right.
what you're doing with it.
And then sadly, what that does is just put people off more. Like, I actually wasn't that yesterday. I was like, this doesn't look as bad as I expected to. You know, if it's good, I'll say so. And I was actually pretty nice. But after I got my video pulled, now I'm kind of like, kiss my ass.
And
You know, now you made me mad. So
yeah, we're going to talk about this. This is actually the Bounding Comics version. There's another version out there on Bleeding Full talking about this. This actually came out. One of our contributors, one of our viewers, went to Discord yesterday and told us that the original voice actress of She-Ra, Melody Britt, is not happy with the way that DreamWorks is handling the fans right now. And I got to read this. She put this on Facebook, and she did this at great,
I'm sure
the risk of great personal, backlash against her career, because this is not a popular. Again, this is her version from Facebook. I can even read you down. Well, let's see, it's too hard here. I'll go to her Facebook version. Okay, so this is Melody Britt, the original voice actress of She-Ra from the 1980s, class act, loves her fans, goes to a lot of conventions, seems like a very classy lady. She says about an article where they're basically talking about the marketing behind She-Ra and how it's running down fans of the original show and how that kind of stinks to high heavens. It got sent to She-Ra herself, and she said, a fan sent this to me. I know I may be taking a chance posting and commenting on this, but my heart has been hurting about the comments some marketing people and publicity machines are bombarding the internet with regarding some fans of the original She-Ra series. I'm actually glad that in this published article, someone has finally said enough to the kind of divisive marketing and negative publicity that has been promoted regarding the fact that some people might actually prefer the original series. It's a big world and there's enough room for many cartoons. But because the She-Ra name is being used to do a new, in quotes, series, I believe you must respect the admiration of fans of the original, and not because you have the power of marketing or an ego trip, put them into categories that denigrate their character and insinuate that if they prefer the original, something is wrong with them. In meeting thousands of fans, I've never, in all caps, I've never come across any person who did not have a great heart and genuine love for the integrity and pure intention of the original series. It changed their lives for the better. It gave them comfort, laughter, and joy with a moral view that is exceptional 33 years later. I love each and every one of you, just my humble opinion, coming from She-Ra herself. Now look at these hashtags. She did not have to put these in there, and this is very interesting. Hashtag thank you, hashtag original, hashtag She-Ra Princess of Power, hashtag She-Ra, hashtag you're just fine, hashtag for the honor of Grayskull, hashtag Masters of the Universe, hashtag cheaters never win, hashtag I love She-Ra fans, hashtag respect one another, hashtag I am She-Ra, hashtag watch out for publicity spin, hashtag divisive network marketing, hashtag love will prevail. That is coming from She-Ra herself.
Yeah, and that's what she's saying. But I love the whole ego trip and cheaters never win. I have theories on that, but I'm not going to go there. But anyway.
Yeah, there is absolutely some weirdness with this show. And the fact that the original She-Ra is coming out and saying, you know, those hashtags, to me, that's almost like it's like she's sending up smoke signals, like she knows what's going on. And again, it's this mindset that in order to, gain new fans, you have to run the old fans down, run the old fans off. And I don't know where this is coming from. This seems to be, this is the same thing they're kind of doing with Star Wars now. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing that they're doing with comics.
No, it's Russian bots with Star Wars.
Yeah, it's Russian. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, it's all Russian bots.
Well, it worked so well with Ghostbusters 2016. I don't know why
Ghostbusters.
Why? I mean, they proved their point there clearly. But what were you saying? Sorry.
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't understand on what planet do you think this marketing tactic works? Like insulting, like why even reboot a classic series? You're rebooting it because you're expecting and hoping to retain those classic fans, the fans of that franchise.
And you can do that. They've done it with other things. Voltron's
a good example.
And
DuckTales.
DuckTales.
Example.
DuckTales. And they inject humor in it, and they do use humor like they use in the She-Ra trailer, but it fits and it works.
It honors the legacy. It doesn't shit.
It doesn't
on
alienate.
And they don't shit on the fans of the original show.
And they did
either.
change the look a bit, but it's still like recognizable. They didn't change like important things just to change them. Like, and it's just, I don't know. It's just the way they treat the fans is better. It somehow bridges the gap between old fans and new fans, that everybody likes it in some way. Not everybody, but you know what I mean. Where this is just so divisive, and it's like, if you don't, instead of reaching out, instead of saying, hey, we need to bring these old fans in, maybe we were being a little bit too divisive. Maybe we do some things to try to bridge that gap. No, we get the guy playing Bo on stage, and he just sits there and publicly like bashes the original even more.
Yeah, which was I thought was really disgusting. I'm like, dude, you would not have your job playing Bo if it wasn't for those actors. And we see this time and time and time again with so many, I'm not going to call them creators, I'm going to call them usurpers. A lot of them are caretakers. They're hired help. They're not the actual
I would say
creators.
caretakers more than usurpers.
Well, some of them do. They come in and they think it's theirs. They think it's theirs. They did not create...
I need to drink again.
They did not create the property. They're just there to take care of it. But instead of just taking care of it, they're like, okay, this is great. Let's change everything. Then why bother rebooting in the first place? Why bother?
Well, this takes us to the thing I know you and Aaron want to talk about a lot, which is what happened to originality.
I don't know. That's a good question. Aaron, do you want to talk about that, or do you have opinions on that?
I think that you're absolutely right in bringing up DuckTales. I think the difference with DuckTales is that the people that are working on that show are all fans of the original. They're all Duck fans. They're fans of the Barks comics. They're fans of the cartoon. They're fans of the the stuff from Europe. They're fans of the Disney shorts. So they took their love of all of those things and they mixed it all together and delivered a product that is DuckTales, but also has all these other Disney elements in it, and it works. I think that you've got to make the decision when you're working on somebody else's property. Like I've said it more than once on here. If someone hands you the Fantastic Four, you shouldn't say, how do I tell my stories that nobody's letting me tell with the Fantastic Four? Your approach should be, what kind of Fantastic Four stories can I tell? And in what ways can I take the Fantastic Four in new directions, but that still retain those core elements? And I think that's the problem that you're getting with a lot of these reboots, is that you've got people who want to do something else. They're not really interested in the thing that they've been given. And they're just, injecting their own stories and their own things that they want to do into these existing properties. And that's when you turn off original fans, and that's when you get kind of the backlash. You know what? I'll tell you the problem with the power that they're using here. It didn't require any discipline to attain it. Mm-hmm. They read what others had done, and they took the next step. They didn't earn the knowledge for themselves, so they don't take any responsibility for it. They stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as they could, and before they even knew what they had, they patented it and packaged it and slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling it. You want to sell it. I'm sorry, I just went full Ian Malcolm. But but that's I think that's a very apropos.
Yeah, I agree.
Way to look at it is that, they're standing on the shoulders of giants, these people that have come before and who have created this IP. And you're seeing the same problem in comics right now is, it's the bastardization of these legacy properties. Yeah. And you have to come into it saying, what kind of great stories can I tell, but how do I not harm the brand? How do I still leave this intact for the next generation that's going to take it?
They don't care.
They just don't care.
I don't think they care about what's next. I don't think they care about.
They just wanted to use it. They just want to make it theirs, and they think all they care about is their legacy, not the legacy of the brand. It's their legacy they care about.
How many upvotes? How many likes am I going to get? How big can I get?
How much fan art? A whole bulletin board and part of a hallway.
Yeah, because you hear, and that's what bothered us. I think in particular about She-Ra in particular, and we talked about this before. And again, this isn't just constantly punch Noelle Stevenson in the face or anything, but just like the marketing for the show was all about Noelle Stevenson, the genius of Noelle Stevenson. Noelle Stevenson's
they even called her
She-Ra,
the creator
show
of
creator.
She-Ra.
They billed her as the show creator.
Well, yeah, she's not the creator.
and just you see this even like.
We always get one dislike. It's one of our stalkers. Go ahead.
Probably the person who flagged us yesterday. But you see it even in these posts. Just sort of the attitude. And And again, I just feel like it's like the seat has been kept warm for you by fans for the last 30 years. You know, you can do better than having the voice actors up on stage in front of a global audience mocking, you know, the original cast that brought the, you know, regardless of what you think of it, you're supposed to be a brand ambassador, you know? And
yeah,
that's just
you could do
really
it better.
Bad
You
look.
could be
that's
like
a bad look.
You can even be like, you know, hey, you know what? Animation technology has, you know, come a long way, even though it really hasn't with this since then. And where I thought, you know, Bo felt kind of robotic sometimes. Well, I think now we make him a little more fluid, and, you know, and they did a great job with him for the time or something like that. You easily could have been respectful and still promote yourself. And they just don't do that. It's just slap, slap, slap. Oh, you don't like it? Slap. Block you from YouTube. Go ahead.
Decaz Rune, don't have to give us money, but thank you. Great Jurassic Park quote.
There you go, Aaron.
I have that memorized, by the way. That was all from memory. I just paraphrased it.
What were you gonna say? You gonna say something else?
Well, no. Somebody asked if we're ever gonna talk about the Mark Waid Diversity in Comics lawsuit. I wasn't planning on it. I'm thinking, you know, maybe when it goes to court and we have a verdict, we have more information. I don't know the law well enough to know what's going on with that.
Yeah,
I just know it's a big mess.
There is a channel. There is a channel. What's it called?
Is it Ricada Law?
Yeah, Ricada Law. Yeah, it was right on the tip of my tongue. I did watch a breakdown that he did of it, and I thought his breakdown was really good. He was also going over, you know, all of the Twitter lawyers, you know, comic industry Twitter lawyers, and their comments, and pointing out how wrong they were. And I thought it was, I mean, it was very sarcastic and very biting, but I thought it had a lot of good information in it. So if you guys are interested in you know, in that aspect of it, maybe check out Ricada Law.
Yeah, I would. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not going to pretend to be a lawyer.
No.
You know, it's a mess.
But you've made comics and you're on the internet. You're perfectly qualified.
I'm totally
we're qualified for everything. You know, I once want to tweet about surgery, so I'm going to go perform that right now.
Hi, my name is Aaron Sparrow. I've created comic books, which means I will fight for you in a court of law.
That's right.
Oh my God.
Quid pro quo. These are words I've heard and can use in a sentence.
Yeah, so we're gonna stand up there right now. But originality, the thing about I don't like anymore is it seems you have some originality, some original shows like Steven Universe is original. I think everybody wants to copy it now because it's a success. Or Gravity Falls is very good and mostly original and things. But everybody seems to want to keep taking, you know, established property and rebooting it and rebooting it and rebooting it and to death. And it's just like, you know, and then, you know, we have these really iconic things. We're lucky that we're from the 80s or even from the 90s. You have these really iconic shows that you can look back on or remember from your generation, your decade. And then I'm looking at my kids are going to have, and there's a couple, but mostly it's just Milo Pony. Oh, wait, we had Milo Pony. She-Ra. Oh, no, wait, we had She-Ra. Voltron. No, wait, that was from the 80s. You know what I'm saying? Ninja Turtles. No, that was 90s.
This bothers me, and I was thinking about this earlier today. And it sort of ties back to the. Okay, so last night, I don't watch a lot of TV, but I was watching. Now Hulu has live TV, so we're watching it through Hulu, and I was flipping through the channels, and there were so many shows on there that they had to put the date of the name of the show or the movie in parentheses to differentiate it from previous incarnations of the show. Like, it's crazy. It's like, oh, it's Will and Grace, but it's Will and Grace 1998, not the new Will and Grace. You know,
it's the old Will and Grace.
Yeah, or the old Will and Grace. Yeah. You know, it's just like it's insane. You know, all the movies you have to, you know, specify which year's version of that movie or that TV show you're talking about. We're in some weird time loop, and I'm you know, watching Ready Player One, where it takes place about 50 years from now, and everybody is still like stuck in the 80s. It's maybe like 30, 40 years. Yeah. And they're still stuck in the 80s. They're still listening to 80s music, you know, hung up on the 80s TV shows, tropes, et cetera, et cetera. And it's kind of laughable on one hand, but then the other hand, it's like, this is happening. Like, I honestly feel like pop culture peaked in the 1980s, and we're stuck in this loop, like this endless feedback loop of just remixes and remixes and remixes. Like, we don't know, like the record needle is stuck on that track, and we don't know how to move on. The 80s were fantastic. They were great, but you can't recapture that. There's so many things sadly, and there's so many great things that came out of the 80s, and that's fantastic. But, you know, this generation is getting hand-me-down entertainment. They're getting watered down, for the most part, versions of superior shows.
You're not allowed to say that.
Watered down sequels or whatever, and I could see it happening again in 10 years, in 10 more years. Like,
the 80s never died.
The 80s never died,
but
we need.
That's a bad thing.
No, but we need to get, like, creators today are fan fiction authors. They're used to doing, fanfics and fan art on Tumblr, but do they actually know how to make new stuff and take what you liked about certain TV shows or movies, take that inspiration and make something new, make something that's uniquely you, that changes entertainment forever? Are we ever going to have another George Lucas or Steven Spielberg? Because those guys, they grew up in the, the 50s. They took that, they sort of absorbed, their culture, and then they created something really unique, based on their experiences. And I'm not seeing that now. I'm just seeing a lot of people just parroting back what they've seen, and it's sad. It's really sad. It's like we're watching true creativity die.
Matt Deckard in the chat just said that we're in the creative dark ages. I don't think we're quite there yet. I think we're on the verge of it, and here's why. Here's my theory. For what it's worth, my dime store Nostradamus here. I think it's going to get worse, and the reason is because kids don't play and use their imaginations anymore. They play on their phones. They play video games that, where there's a story, already set up for them. Mm. They don't play with action figures anymore. They're not out there in the dirt, playing with toys and creating scenarios in their head and imagining things. They're consuming media that does all the playing for them. So, and all the imagination for them. So what we're going to get is we're just going to get a continual regurgitation of the things that they have consumed. But there's no originality in it because they haven't spent any time developing that. So I think that's why, like, so many of the young writers that are coming up now, it's just stories about eating pie in coffee shops and having boring conversations about food, is because that is literally all that they have experienced in their life.
Yeah, I agree with that, because experience matters. I mean, you're going to write from what you know. Go ahead. Are you going to read that?
Yeah, can I jump in here real quick, Aaron? Terry Bogart, thank you. You keep giving us money, Terry. You don't have to do that. We're just happy to have you here. But I'm going to be honest. The Twitter fans are stalking those who don't like the new She-Ra. Yeah, that's completely true. And they're attacking people, and I'm upset because they're dissing the old She-Ra and belittling 80s fans. Terry, you're in good company, because She-Ra herself, it will have none of their shit.
Yeah, and that's what they are doing that. They're basically like, if you don't like the new one, it's because you're, and you like the old one better. It's because, they immediately it's because, all 80s things look like garbage, and this is so much better. It's like, no, it's not. But okay. Let's
compare, just real quick, compare and contrast. Melindy Britt, who is a class act and had a very classy statement, with the new She-Ra, who's trash talking people who don't like new She-Ra and calling them sexist. It's just ridiculous. She is, let's see, if call criticism, here we go, of the She-Ra reboot star on Backlash. People should know not to criticize women's bodies.
Except women, what the flip? Okay, so you're a woman, you can't criticize any women's bodies because you're a woman. I mean, what I'm saying is like I can't talk about my body because, because even though it's my body, because of why. I mean,
they did a whole article about that 10-minute cringy panel, and she said one thing literally. So this is the voice actress of She-Ra. Was it Amy Carrero? I believe her name is. I think she's the voice of Elena Davenport.
Yeah, it says right there.
Okay, wait a minute. Don't criticize women's bodies, but then they're criticizing the original She-Ra for being voluptuous and being
exactly.
Like being this example of femininity, like Wonder Woman, or when did, I don't know. I'm just like a dumb old guy, I guess. But like, when did it become a problem to celebrate the things that make women different from men?
You're not allowed to do that. Like, women are better than men. Don't you know this? And women, women can do anything men can do and do it better. And you can't say that, men are good at things and women are good at things anymore. Even though it's true, you can't say that. You're not allowed to, because that's just sexist. And it's not sexist. It's just reality.
I'm looking at the pictures of the She-Ra cosplayers right there, and I'm going to agree that women are better than men. I'm way more interested in women.
I'm looking at the thing about Noah Stevenson, though. I thought this was funny. We have this wall fan art in the office. We've been adding to it. Whenever new fan art comes in, it's exploded. That's so much of what I've seen in response. And by comparison, the naysayers haven't been the loudest voice. Well, no, they haven't been, because when you don't like what they say, you go and silence them by blocking them. And so, of course, what you're hearing is your own echo chamber. Or you go to YouTube and try to flag their videos so you don't, they get blocked because they're I don't know what you're talking about. There's no one saying anything bad about She-Ra.
Oh,
Look,
now,
YouTube.
Now, Geeky, we're not saying anyone at DreamWorks actually pulled our video down, but it was...
No, we're not saying that. I'm just saying...
curious.
Yes, I'm just saying.
It was a curious thing.
No, but I'm not right on about the naysayers in the loudest voice. When you block people, so you only have an echo chamber, of course you're only going to hear what you want to hear. I like to surround myself by recordings of my friends and family and myself telling me how wonderful I am. So when I get up in the morning, I don't have to hear any negativity. It's always like I hit the button and it's always people saying nice things to me.
Alexa, tell me how awesome I am.
Yeah, pretty much.
So it's I don't know.
Wait, Kiki, let me ask you this. As the only woman here in this well, the only one that's speaking. We've got some in the chat. And you know what? Everybody in the chat, feel free, if you're a woman, chime in on this too, because I'm curious. Does the original She-Ra make you feel bad about yourself?
No, never did. And I was always a chubby kid, and I never felt bad about myself about She-Ra. I love She-Ra because, well, one, it was cool because, your friends that were boys or your relatives were boys, I had the He-Man, you had the She-Ra, so you guys could play together, and that was great. But beyond that, it was like, I love the dolls. Those are the one thing I kept hold of. I had the She-Ra dolls for many, many years. It was the only toy I actually kept. And I loved them because they were just, well, frankly, we'll talk about this again. They had brushable hair. And you know what's great for stress and dealing with things you don't want to deal with? You brush the damn hair. But they never made me feel bad about myself, ever. I always felt like, I could be like She-Ra someday. I can fight evil. Now I'm fighting it on YouTube. And I can do different things, and I never thought...
Geeky is the real Adora leading the Great Rebellion.
I'm just like, I never made me feel like, oh, God, she's got bigger boobs than me. So yeah,
Stormax Padme.
Do you know how hard it is to kick ass in heels in a skirt? I'm just telling you, people, it's not easy. It's not easy. Anyway.
Everybody all the women in the chat are saying no. Apparently, there's a lot more women in the chat than I would have.
There are a lot. That's why I keep telling people there are a lot of women, and it's not even just women. There are a lot of people on our boards that are men and women, and there's so many people with different races, different sexual orientations, different genders, and they all like She-Ra, and they all found her inspiring, and they all found her, meaningful to them in some way. Even men were talking about, how much they love the show, and not because of her boobs, because that's the narrative. You only like her if you're a guy because she's got boobs. But it means a lot to women, and the narrative is, women love it. All women love it. They are completely on board. It's just men who hate it, and that is not true.
We have heard from
J. Scott Campbell, he gets in trouble all the time with, online, I see, because, of his latest sexy drawing of a woman. But when I go to conventions and J. Scott Campbell's table is set up, do you know who the line is filled with? There are far more women than there are men in general.
It's empowering.
Women love art of beautiful women. Not all women, maybe. Maybe some women, want their characters to be unattractive or dowdy or whatever, because that makes them feel better. But why do we cater to that, but we don't cater to the audience that wants their women to be beautiful and empowering and
well, you're not allowed
strong.
to, because that's anti-feminist. But I'll tell you what, if I see a really pretty girl that looks really good, or she looks really pretty or whatever, I'll say, oh my gosh, she's so cute. I'll say it to you, Neon. Why?
Yeah.
Or I'll actually tell her, oh my gosh, your hair looks so great. I think you look awesome. Go you, kind of thing. But why? I appreciate their beauty, and I'm a woman.
Okay, so women can't like attractive, powerful women as role models. How come men can read comic books with dudes that look like they've been doing steroids, perfect, specimens of physical fitness? No,
you get harassed. You'll get picked on.
Why don't we need more fat male superheroes? We need more unattractive male superheroes.
That's right.
Well, the argument that I always hear is that attractive women are for the male gaze, and when you point out the fact that like the superheroes are all like these ripped, like Greek god looking characters, you're told that that's also a male power fantasy. And,
yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, maybe, but here's the thing. I want my heroes to look athletic and look heroic. I don't want my heroes to look like me. It's like, I've never felt like, because there's not a bald, bearded, superhero with a gut, but, I'm not represented. I find things within the characters' personalities and, at least when they're well written, that are the things that I gravitate towards. My favorite G.I. Joe character when I first discovered G.I. Joe was Stalker, who, you know, was a black army ranger.
Yeah. Oh,
And
sorry,
his
awesome.
and it didn't even occur to me. I just read his file card and I thought he sounded awesome. And so, you know, it's like he came from like a rough neighborhood and you know, had to like persevere and join the military and got his life together. And that was what always appealed to me about him. And then in the comic books, he was always a badass. So I was like, yeah, Stalker's my man.
Just jump in here real quick. Terry Bogart again. Why, Terry? You're gonna run out of money. Stop giving us money. No, it never made me feel bad, but Melindy Brett's message seems so cryptic, and that alone worries me. I hope everything is all right with her. I think she might, honestly, Terry, be at the age where she doesn't really care anymore. She's not. I don't think she's currently doing any voice acting. I'm not sure, but. You know, I know that she does a lot of conventions. I know that the old school He-Man and She-Ra fans mean a lot to her. And I would be upset too if these people, you know, basically gave me my career and they were constantly being drugged through the mud.
I think she knows more about what's going on behind the scenes than we do. I think that's why she's being cryptic. I think she knows more about what's going on, but she really can't say it. So I think if her being cryptic sounds like she's being cryptic, I think if she does know more about what's going on, I think there's a lot more to it than we're seeing. And like the ego trip comment and the power of marketing and the hashtags. And I think if she's being cryptic, I think it's because she's trying to make sure the people that she's talking about know she's talking about them without coming out and calling them out directly.
I mean, cheaters never win. Watch out for publicity spin, divisive network marketing. I mean, those are pretty harsh. Those are pretty harsh hashtags that did not need to be put there. So they're put there for a reason. So I think Melindy Brett knows what's going down. Splotchy Inc., thank you with all these below average shows. It just makes me want to make my own stuff. Good.
Yes,
that's what we want to do on this channel. That is the purpose of our channel, is to make you want to go make new stuff. You don't like what's out there,
make your own. But go ahead.
And I'll make sure one character will have merch with brushable hair.
Because I'm telling you, God, I don't understand why they keep making these She-Ra figures, and not just these ones, the other ones when they had the collectible ones. They all had flippin' molded hair. I'm like, what made She-Ra great was that you could brush her dang hair, and you could style. They even had fashions. It was great. You could go kick ass, you know, go cream Hordak, and then go home and put on your pretty pastel skirt and brush your hair. It was fantastic. Best of both worlds. My kind of.
You're gonna get brushable hair on Hordak.
If he has brushable hair, I'm buying it.
Flocked.
And I will brush it, and I will make, and I'll rub the flocked head. I'll come close. I'll rub it. But
you know what's funny is
that sounds wrong.
I'm gonna totally like break here and say that I actually kind of like the Hordak with hair, not because it's like, oh, Nazis, you know, not because of that, but just because him with hair to me makes him look a little more like Dracula.
He does.
He does. I mean, I personally don't. I actually don't hate that design. I really don't. I'm just like, I just kind of was like, are they doing that? Is this intentional? Because why else would you give him hair? But he does look very vampiric. I don't think it's a bad look. I really don't. Actually,
I don't mind that.
When I saw Hordak's design, I was kind of like, well, one, at least I'm like, oh, thank God he's recognizably Hordak. Because at first I was worried. I'm like, they're hiding Hordak. Why are they hiding Hordak? They're gonna do something.
Everybody was worried about.
They're gonna do something. Actually, Hordak is the most, I think, old school element I've seen so far. You know, and other than the hair, which it does work. I mean, if I'd never seen, you know, I'd be like, yeah. So I thought that actually worked. Actually worked really well.
I hate Imp, but then again, I never liked the original Imp either. So
Imp was always an odd. Like,
yeah, this Imp looks like a stupid baby design.
That's what I'm
like
saying.
a super hell baby.
Yes, it was weird.
Demon cherub.
But it's not like the original. Oh, is that? Wait, is that? I remember you guys were talking about this before on one of the things. Is that her like D&D character that's now Imp? Is that?
I don't know. Supposedly one of these characters is based on her D&D character. Now I'm not sure which one it's going to be. We won't know until we see the show. But like she was playing an elvish character that could teleport. Or
it was
something.
No, it was the whatever, I forget. It's one of the newer species, like the dragon,
and not thinking it through. So one of these characters, whoever acts like that, is going to be the D&D character.
I'm thinking they're going to play that one for laughs. I mean, there are a lot of like new looking characters, but yeah, it's weird. They don't have Mantana, they don't have Leech, they don't have Grizzlor.
Devil, Cherub, and Dibble need to.
Oh my God!
There's a piece of art.
Tiefling, yes, thank you. It's
Tiefling.
One of the newer.
I can't remember.
There's no Grizzlor. Talk about your opportunity for brushable hair.
I know.
Yeah, I know,
God,
right?
It's so great. I love how the original, and I was telling Geeky about this. The slime pit, the instruction manual
we were talking about this
said,
yesterday.
do not use slime with Grizzlor and Mossman.
Yeah.
It literally had that in
Words
the
to
instruction
live by.
manual. Please do not use the slime.
Those are
with
words to live by, people.
Grizzlor and Mossman, and don't use them with. Don't use the slime with on any figure. Actually, I had for years. I had my like beater figures, and I had to like those are the figures I had to actually go in with like a toothpick and chip away all the dried slime
like
out of
when
the
I had
joints.
to clean out the unicorn.
Yeah, it's a mess.
Poopsie.
Yeah, so I didn't slime very many of my figures, but He-Man and Man-at-Arms and Tila all got the sliming. And my other figures I kept them because they were my first figures, and they were pretty beat up. So
Love sticking Leech Man on like everything in the house.
oh, Leech was awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like
my
on
friend
the
got a
fridge,
hickey
on the
for
window,
Leech.
he was always hanging on. He was like one of those Garfields that you put in your window.
Yes,
right?
yes, I remember. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's what we need to do in the car. We need to go get a Leech and just stick him in the rear.
I was thinking it actually.
the rear window.
I was thinking to stick it in the window. So that's what my goals now. I need to go get a catcher so I can brush her hair, and I need to get a leech for you so you can stick it on things, which again sounds wrong. I do not mean anything.
There was a
wrong.
kid I went to school with that actually had a hickey
Wait.
from Leech.
Oh God.
No, I'm serious. There was a
Now,
kid.
where was this hickey?
No, it was on his, I think it was on his neck. No, there was a
Why
kid
would he stick a leech to his neck?
to see if it would stick. It was like the 3rd grade.
If I wanted to see where something would stick, I don't think I'd stick it to my neck. Like, ooh.
I loved Leech because his description was the evil, it's like the evil overlord of power suction, and I was like,
I know, right?
What was that job fair like?
I was like, his competition was like Hoover and
Stormy Daniels.
Yeah, you have a couple different people there. That's your competition for the leader of suction. So anyway, that went down here very quickly. But you're looking at pictures now. Are you trying to pull up the old stuff?
I'm trying to pull up the old stuff to see who, like, pretty much, I mean, it does seem like a very different take on the Horde. I mean, we don't know. We haven't seen enough to be able to tell.
Yeah,
but
they might be.
I do think the Horde is going to be more of a military force than a bunch of like, random evil alien types. And it doesn't look like they have the Horde robots, which I'm disappointed. I am.
No, I think we're gonna get like a heavy, like kind of like Antifa type message.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So, and that's why they have to yuck it up with the heroes, because Hordak's gonna be all business. I mean, I don't think Hordak is gonna be the goofy snorting Hordak from the original cartoon.
No, I think he's going to be straight. I think he will be a straight up threat, which I like.
I do like that too.
I was worried.
I do.
I was worried they were going to like just kind of yuck it up with Hordak. I'm like, oh God, we don't need another. Hordak's got a heart of gold. We just have to find it. Because the Hordak in the 2002 series, now they only teased Hordak in 2002, but I'm like, my God, Hordak is like, he's like the freaking ultimate evil in the He-Man universe, and I liked that, and I was so disappointed they didn't go there.
So, yeah, if I was like writing He-Man, I would straight up treat Hordak like Darkseid.
Yeah, that's what I think he was meant to be, at least in the action figure line, and then the Filmation cartoon kind of came along, and they're like, well, he's too scary. Let's make him snort like a pig, and he's got a pet pig for a pet, and he can turn into a rocket ship with googly eyes, and it's
those you know what, that is the perfect example of a reboot right there. Is the 2000 He-Man cartoon?
Yeah, it was good. It was so good.
It's like they updated all the designs; they were all recognizable, but they just pushed it. They pushed all of those designs like to the coolest possible point that they could without changing them and making them unrecognizable. And that's what I absolutely loved about it. And kudos to the Four Horsemen who did all those designs, because they nailed it. And it still kills me that we don't have action figures of some of those versions.
Yeah, and clearly, was Skeletor a member of the Horde? It depends on which continuity. In the I believe Keldor in the 2002 continuity, Keldor was Randor's brother, and he got his face eaten off with acid, and he made a deal with Hordak and became Skeletor. And in the Filmation version, he was like a Horde member who was left behind, I believe. So.
And then in the comics, the little comics, he was like a demon lord from another dimension. He was the evil lord.
We have that book of comics. We got to read this.
I do the Dark Horse book, which is awesome. It's got it's like 1,000 pages, all the comics, all the He-Man, She-Ra, the new Adventures of He-Man. But yeah, they took. That's what I liked about the 2002 series. They actually took a lot of elements, both from Filmation and from the comic books, and from even like the DC comics.
Much like DuckTales.
Yeah.
Doing a reboot.
Storm. X Padme. Yeah, Horde originated on a turn before they fled to Etheria. That's right, and then Hordak fled with Adora. Yeah, so now 2002, we never quite saw exactly, because they talked about Hordak. I'm trying to remember. My memory's a little foggy, but
I was going to say, I very much want to get that and watch it again, because 2002 was so good. It was just so good. And
they had a scene where they showed Hordak marching at the head of his army, and you saw Montana, you saw Leech, you saw Grizzlor, you know, all the Horde troopers. They had Horde wraiths, which were like the ring wraiths, and they were like, I guess we're supposed to be like Shadow Weaver's disciples, and it was just like, oh god, I can't wait for this new season. And then of course, wah, wah.
Yeah, I know, so disappointing.
Awful. Well, my first comics I ever read were the She-Ra comics that came with the dolls, so like, you know, that's why I like comics, was just She-Ra comics. But anyway, what else are you gonna say?
I wasn't gonna say anything. I'm just
for a moment,
no. So. I'm confused because I'm like, I don't think we're in this new version. We're gonna get this Horde. I think we're gonna get Hordak and a bunch of like brainwashed teenagers.
So Hordak in the hand.
Yeah, pretty much. No, I think that's a pretty good analogy. That's actually what I was thinking. It was almost like, it reminds me of the Hand in Iron Fist, almost like where a bunch of teenagers are trained to fight for this cause. They don't know exactly what they're fighting for, but they think they're the good guys. You know, and then they sort of, you know, meet people who are, you know, have differing beliefs and switch sides and all of that jazz. And that's kind of what the vibe I'm getting from this.
Oh, then I guess we were wrong. Then I guess the Great Rebellion can't be Antifa, because if they're actually accepting people with different views, then the parallel doesn't work.
I just have to laugh and look at this, because it's like, this is diversity. Like I said, people on the board were talking about how insulting, almost like some of the stereotyping for the sake of diversity, certain elements were. But then again, I'm like, but then remember the team that's leading this diversity charge is a bunch of light-skinned women. And there are no men. It's all light-skinned women in the writing room. So.
Yeah, so weird too, because actually, you know, so many of our viewers, you know, it's so funny because they try to paint it as like it's just a bunch of like straight white dudes that don't like, you know, the reboot, the She-Ra reboot, the you know, stuff going on with Star Wars, the stuff going on with comics right now. And we've got such an amazing, very, very diverse group of people just on our Discord that we talk to. Like, it's crazy. Like,
and many of them,
false narrative.
Speaking of false narrative, many of them, including Storm X Padme, were talking about how when they would question things about the new show, immediately they get labeled well, you're clearly just a white guy, like, you know, white guy incel type thing. And it's like, but I'm not even a guy, you know, or whatever.
I know.
It's you're automatically labeled. It's just ridiculous.
Well, I mean, just to your point, we had somebody pop up in the comments, and I didn't answer them, but I'll answer them now. Said, why don't you just call, I think they said, why don't you call this the alt-right dog whistle power hour?
Or us.
Yeah, us.
Oh, yes.
And,
we're not.
Oh, really?
Except we're not alt-right. We're not even.
I'm not even right. Like, I usually vote Democrat.
We're not Republicans.
Wait, because I'm like, because we're talking about a cartoon that I'm not even 100% against.
Yeah, exactly.
That makes us alt-right. Like, you know, it's like,
I'm not. I know. It's so crazy.
We get called this all the time. Somehow we're libtard snowflakes and alt-right Nazis in the same week. It depends who you ask.
Because, like, you post in a room full of conservatives, and there's going to be discussions, you know? My thing is, like, look, I mean, for me, it's like, I always viewed entertainment as being... it should be that demilitarized, like we should all be able to just, you know, put the guns down for a second and watch, you know, just enjoy entertainment for what it is. You know, it's just crazy. The entertainment has become such a battleground now for political toxicity on, you know, both sides. It's crazy. People just, they want to, most normal people want to shut the real world out for a little bit when they read their comics and they watch their TV shows, they watch their movies, and they play their video games. I mean, it's a diversion. It's because the real world sucks enough. We don't need, you know, don't need more fighting. You know,
I'm sorry. I'm just laughing about alt-right power hour as opposed to what the far left forced stereotype diversity hoedown. I mean, what? I
don't know.
You know, it's like, you know, I mean, we can play the same game on both sides, and it's stupid. I mean,
it is stupid.
And like I've said many times, and Aaron said he's not 100% against the show either, is that, you know, it's not as bad. The trailer's not as bad.
Oh, okay. I know it was a joke. Sorry about that.
The trailer.
Oh, okay.
Oh, but no, but the thing is that the joke, that sounds like a joke, but we've actually been called these things.
Yeah, and I do apologize.
Oh,
that was a joke, Spirit Scar. I do apologize.
No.
I just saw all the comments like fly by.
Yeah,
I'm like,
what?
What?
He was joking, but we have been called alt-right Nazis.
We have been multiple occasions.
All Neon did was say, hey, before I even knew any of this stuff, hey, Marvel sales numbers are looking dodgy. What are we, should we be worried about this? Shut up, you alt-right Nazi.
Well, I do apologize, Fierce Guard, if that was a joke. No, literally, how we even got into examining what's going on in pop culture, with any kind of like political bent or whatever. We don't want to be political. The way the entertainment industry is now, it's like they're forcing you to pick a side.
It's forced politics.
I've been called, talking about that. Like I've been called alt-right. I usually vote. I mean, I'm an independent voter, but I usually back Democratic candidates.
Yeah, same.
And it's crazy that like and again, back to the point, and the original point of this was, that they're again, and I'm with Melindy Britt on this, that they're painting fans, and this is the same with Star Wars, it's the same with comics, it's the same with gaming to some degree. They're painting all fans as being these nasty white dudes who can't get dates, bitter, and going out there and just trolling poor women and minorities. And we have so many women and minorities.
They marginalize women and minorities who,
as they speak for them.
Yeah.
And we have so many women and minorities that watch this channel, that hang out in our Discord. Fantastic people. They're just fans. They're just people. They just want to be entertained. They want to have fun. They want to talk to other people who like the same things they like without being preached at.
But it doesn't matter what your politics are. It doesn't matter what your gender, race, sexual orientation are. You can all like the same things. You can all not like the same things. You still can get along. There.
You know what?
Oh my God, Terry, you're gonna run out of money.
1 second, Aaron. Go ahead.
Let me just ask this at the chat. If you are not a straight white male, just type a 1. I just want to see how many people.
That's fair.
Okay, go ahead.
If you're not straight white male, just type a 1, and we're gonna see if we've got a diverse crowd here.
I know we do.
Terry Bogart said on EVS, I'm openly bisexual, and I know what it's like to struggle being openly bisexual. I don't need Stevenson to fight for my rights.
Yeah, that's what I get mad about too. It's like they keep saying about these marginalized people as they're marginalizing, and then when people like you or me as a woman would speak up and say,
"Oh my God,
I told you."
Oh my God, look at all the ones.
I'm aware because I'm on the Discord.
Oh my God.
I know this. If you are you are a minority, or if you're like me, like a woman, and you speak out against this, you are marginalized again. So you're not only marginalized once, you're marginalized by the people saying they're fighting for your rights as they marginalize you again. So it's frustrating as hell, especially if you're not a white straight guy. It's doubly frustrating because you're marginalized again.
And this is the argument they keep using, and this is why. I mean, this actually, reading what Melindy said, this actually almost brought a tear to my eye. Like, I mean, she's so passionate about the fandom.
She cares about the fandom.
And she cares about the fans.
The brand.
And to see all of these fans being pissed on by the studios, by the publishers, by the developers, and all being told that they're awful people, and they're all, by the way, are all just a bunch of, straight white guys. You're awful. You're all awful.
Do you know what I get from this backlash you keep hearing? It's a bunch of people who either haven't been told no, or don't know how to take, don't understand that you don't have to be, the greatest thing ever every time. Like they can't wrap their head around the fact that not everybody thinks that what they do is fantastic and wonderful, and they don't know how to address people who don't. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so their attitude is, well, you all suck, and you're all incels, and you're all this and everything else, instead of taking a step back and being like, well, wait a minute, maybe I was a little heavy-handed with this, maybe I should look at it.
No, there's no self-reflection.
No, it's immediate blame on everybody else. It's never your fault. It's always somebody else's fault.
It is narcissism and a lack of empathy. And I don't know if it's environmental.
What were you laughing about?
Somebody said that they were an 8 with a big dick. Big dick 8 and looking. Okay.
Okay, good.
Well, that's good on you.
For 69. Hey, I get behind that.
The rabble rousers.
Yeah. So
69 is a good number.
I think there is now, and I don't know if it's environmental, if it's generational, but there is. There's so much like narcissism, and it's usually.
They're not even aware they're narcissistic half the time. That's the funny part. Anyway, go ahead.
Like, they should be happy. Like, you could be flipping burgers, right? You could be living in a cardboard box. You could be digging dishes for a living. But no, you get to be put in charge of, these IPs that mean a lot to people. And then you just turn around and you just completely shit on the fans that basically created this job for you, this opportunity for you. Like, why are you so damaged? Why are you damaged? Well, look, why are you broken?
I think it comes from the same, it's like I have a certain amount of compassion for, for people that, even the people that are like denigrating the fans and because I think that inherently it's the same problem as people who hold like racist or bigoted views, is that they have these views because their world is small. and their world is very insular, and they're only around people that think like them, and they don't really get around
echo
other people
chamber.
and have these in this echo chamber, and they don't have these discussions with other people, and they don't understand that you can actually disagree with people and still love them. You can have, you know, extreme ideological differences, like I do with many of my friends. You know, I have friends that are from like every walk of life that you could name. I'm friends with them, and somehow we all still get along, even though we have differing views on different subjects. You know, I don't understand this idea that, like, if you don't think 100% like me, then you're the enemy. And, you know, that is insanity to me.
Yeah, no, that's how I am too. I'm like, you know, I like, my biggest thing is I hate people that bully people or like belittle people. And it's like, I don't care what your race, gender, you know, what sexual orientation you are, what religion you are, whatever. Are you cool? You know, let's hang. If you're a dick, then let's not, you know, we don't want to hang with you. I don't really, no jokes about dicks and hang. But, you know, I'm just saying, you know, it's just like.
Damn it, Geeky, every time.
I know. You know, I'm not the one who's typing 69 in the chat.
You know how
so I'm just saying, it's like, you know, I have friends of all different kinds of people too, and we get along. My parents are like really, 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 really big Trump supporters, and we're not always on the same page. And you know what?
There have been fights. There have been,
and we always I still love my parents.
We still love,
we still get along.
You know?
My friends like different music than me, like different TV shows than me. And I didn't say, well, F you. You don't like what I like, so what's wrong with you, incel? You're just a whatever-ist, and kiss my ass. I'm blocking you in life. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Whoa, that guy's thinks
Russian
he's saying.
bots. Go ahead.
Russian bots are coming. We gotta get this podcast in before the Russians come and shut us down. I put a link to Melindy Britt's original Facebook. She's been getting a lot of love over the last 24
Good.
hours.
She deserves it.
As well, she should.
She should. She's a class act. She is She-Ra, both on screen and off screen.
I met her at PowerCon a few years ago.
Oh, you're lucky. I wish I could have met her.
What an absolutely delightful person she is to talk to.
She looks like she's a sweetie. I just want to hug her.
Yeah.
But go ahead. What were you say?
I don't know what I was gonna say. I lost.
Well, I was just gonna say we're
I
probably have to wrap this up soon. But I was just gonna say there shouldn't be sides, right? It's just, you know, you don't like it, I like it. That's okay. That's what I was gonna say. If you want to watch it and you like it, you know, I'm not gonna judge you for that. We can still be friends if you like it. I'm not gonna be mad at you for liking it. I watch it, but so far I'm not liking what I'm seeing, and I'm allowed to not like it, just like you are allowed to like it, and that is completely valid. And I'm so tired of people, like, you know, trying to rip their face off and crap down the hole because you don't agree with them.
Storm,
I made a joke
don't
about
worry, we're not gonna get political. We're just you know, talking our own personal
we
experience.
We don't want to watch it. What were you saying, Aaron?
Oh, I was gonna say, I made a joke about Big Bang Theory recently on Twitter, and I got one guy who like came at me like really hard, like, and was trying to like defend the show, and I was like, look, dude, I've watched it. I don't like it. I think it's awful. That's, you know, that's perfectly, you know, it's almost like taste is subjective, and you can like things and I can dislike them, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, obviously you haven't watched enough episodes. And I was like, so if I watch more episodes, it gets less shitty? Like, is that your thesis?
Yeah.
Like, because it's not, you know, it's based on my tastes and my, you know, like, I don't think that just mentioning things is funny. And to me, that's mostly what that show is. It's like, oh, they mentioned Thundercats. I like Thundercats, so I must like this. And that's not the way it works. You know,
spaghetti against the wall until something sticks, you know.
I have a different sense, you know, I have a different sense of humor. I find different things funny. I expect, you know, a certain level of cleverness in writing. I don't just expect references. So, you know, if you find that funny, hey, great. I'm glad you enjoy it. You know, it's made for you. Please continue to watch it.
It is for you.
It's for you.
Joe, but I mean, I can't wrap my head around this. Maybe it's because it's a generational thing, but I just can't wrap my head around this whole idea that if someone doesn't like a show you like, that they're clearly an evil person from hell, and they need to know their place, and you need to unfollow them immediately and block them and anyone associated with them and their dog and their dog's friends too, because, you know, that might rub off on you, and we can't have that because they're wrong.
Yeah, I don't understand it, and I don't know. It's sad. It's sad to see, like, this, you know, entertainment's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be entertaining, you know, right? I mean, it was supposed to be entertaining, and it's just become another stupid political battleground. And, you know, I think eventually people will get sick of it.
I say, Aaron, did you have anything else you wanted to add about any of this stuff?
Are we wrapping up?
I think so, because we've been going a while. And...
Our wrap-ups last about 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah, so everybody expects it. So, yeah, pretty much. So if you have anything you want to add about any of this stuff, please do.
I don't know. Let me just think. Neon, you talk for a minute while I compose my thoughts and think if there's anything I wanted to say that we missed.
Yeah, you said something clever,
Oh,
Neon.
no, let's talk about the toys. Let's talk about the fact that
brushable hair. Woo! Good.
The fact that they're releasing toys through Super 7, which is a small distributor.
Yes.
The Mattel is not releasing them in big box stores. And to me, I mean, maybe I'm wrong here. I could be totally off base. But to me, that says something about Mattel's confidence in the show.
Yeah, okay, so that was one thing we noticed, with PowerCon. Now, you were actually at PowerCon.
Yeah, and they did not show the toys there. That's
a red flag because...
Well, was it though? I'm wondering if they just didn't slap it together last minute because people were like, "Well, where are the toys? Where are the toys at?" There must not be, they're waiting to see if it does well because where's the toys at? And it's a really small run though, and they're pre-order for how long? How long are they on pre-order for? Like, I mean, like when is expected ship date on them?
Well, it takes about a year. It takes about a year for them to go. Like, even in the best of circumstances, it takes about a year to go from prototype to production. Okay. So obviously they haven't gone through production yet. All they have is they just have the basic prototypes.
That's why I was asking when the pre-order ship, when they're going to ship, because it's like several months from now. Then they probably did just put this together because people were saying about no toys. But yeah,
you could throw them together. You could throw them together and then 3D print them and have prototypes ready to go within a couple months.
Yeah,
so
that's what I'm thinking.
These could just be like paint samples and things like that, and they haven't actually made molds yet. They haven't actually done that. I don't know. I'm not saying that's a fact. I'm just saying that this is, knowing what I do about the toy industry, it could be that they haven't produced the molds yet. And Super 7 does do things on pre-order so that they don't get caught with overages because they're a very, very small company. Yeah. But I think it's telling that Mattel is not doing these and pushing these into your Walmarts, your Targets.
Right.
It makes me wonder if Mattel does not have faith in the show, and then that makes me ask why. Why does Mattel not want to do this? Because it feels like this should be getting a big rollout and release in your regular retailers.
I know why. Because
no brushable hair.
That's right. I was going to say that because they don't have the brushable hair ready. Anyway.
Well, no, it's interesting though. Even at PowerCon, like you would think, with the show only being a couple of months away, that
tease me about brushing your doll's hair. Anyway, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, you think with the show being only a couple of months away that they would at least have some like little brochures or something to hand out to people as they walk in. By the way, we got a new She-Ra show coming out.
How they did announce that Scholastic's gonna have a bunch of comic tie-ins too, or Scholastic books for kids tie-ins to the show.
Yeah, but they also have a bunch of Minecraft books.
I know. I'm just saying, Scholastic, because they already have the tie-ins on the Scholastic already coming to all the.
I guess they could have announced it and shown you like the concept drawings, but maybe they weren't ready. Maybe they felt that New York Comic Con. I mean, there's more noise at New York Comic Con, but it is a bigger place to announce.
Voltron, I think someone asked about Mattel. I think Voltron's Playmates, isn't it?
I think it's Playmates.
Well, right there's one. Look.
Oh, yeah. There's
a big Voltron next
Playmates.
to us.
There it is. Giant Voltron on the damn shelf in front of us. Yes, it's Playmates. The box says Playmates, so it's Playmates. Ooh.
Are the Voltron toys good?
I don't know. We actually didn't open it. It's in the box. He's going to play with it now so you can hear it.
Light this thing up. Fire lasers.
I mean, I like what I'm hearing.
How does it feel to you? Does this button feel sturdy?
Guys, hang on. Let's see if I can freeze these guys. We are Voltron.
We are She-Ra.
Do they say? I haven't watched the new Voltron cartoon. I need to, especially now that a friend of mine has been cast on the show.
Oh, awesome!
Really?
Yeah, my friend Zara. I'm not sure who she's playing. It's a new character in the new season. I think she's part of like the Earth Force or something like that. I think.
Oh, awesome!
I actually watch Voltron, so yeah.
She probably can't tell you, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know when she got like she got announced, but they didn't say who the character was. So when she told me, she couldn't tell me who it was. But it's like, so I need to watch that. But the toy, I want to know if the toys are quality because they're from Playmates, and as a collector, I generally don't enjoy Playmates products. I always feel like they take the cheapest possible route.
Honestly, he's not bad. He's in the box, so we really can't tell you.
People say about camera review, we gotta get a studio that
Actually, you were gonna not the Playmates, not the Voltron, but you were gonna review some of the new Transformers.
Yeah, we've got Starscream and Hot Rod. Geeky tracked him down for me for the Generation 1 reissues.
So he's gonna review those. I mean, you can open this if you want to and review it.
Well, that's old. I don't even know if it's out anymore. We got them on clearance for like $12.
Morgan Boyer says if the He-Man doll gets brushable hair, please, Lord, let him have the glorious full cut. I agree.
I hope so too. But the one they were showing from Mattel,
The classic
actually,
does.
did he have? He had
Yeah, he
brushable
had the
hair.
Page Boy. Yeah.
I'm like, they better flip and bring those Mattel dolls out because I want them. I don't have room, but I will find room. I will check out something to make room for those. But anyway,
God, I want to get some voice. We need to get some voice actors on the show.
I like
we have
kids,
so
too.
much fun with voice actors. They're
Do you want me to? I mean, I can get you some. I can probably get you some people.
we probably should. That'd be fun.
We'll do some, yeah, because I mean, I think people would love to hear from, the people behind the voice. I mean, we always have a lot of fun. We used to get invited to more cons, but we used to get invited to cons. Like, we had so much fun hanging out with these people. It's
Yeah,
so
they were
weird.
fun.
Like, you're sitting next to somebody talking to them, and you're like, God, I'm sitting next to like Inuyasha.
I remember
I had no idea.
yeah, he was at our table, and then I remember we played
He
cards.
put his beer on our
We
table.
played Cards Against Humanity with Matt Mercer, and,
We did.
and our son was playing Overwatch all the time, and McCree would come on. I'm like, oh yeah, he hugged me after we played Cards Against Humanity, and my son just mouth open, looked at me, and said, "What?"
he does it. Yeah, it's like he's like, I could just tell my son he was like 12 and he's like, bullshit. My parents did not hang out with McCree.
We
Like,
did.
no, actually we did.
He hugged me by and said, "Hey, I hope to catch you later," which I didn't get time to see him again. But
Parents are weird, kid. Get used to it.
So anyway, okay.
It'd be
So,
fun to get like Jim Cummings on.
Oh my God, that would be so
Tom
awesome.
would have a coronary.
I don't know if I would be able to actually.
He'd pee himself a bit. We have
yeah,
to
I
do some
don't-
depends.
I don't think I would be able to actually go through the interview because I'd be like,
True story.
Don't worry, you wouldn't have to talk. Jim would do all the talking. He's, he would just be Darkwing on the entire thing.
my
Well,
God, that'd be
Don
silly.
Rosa was over at Baltimore, and it took him at least like 3 hours to talk himself into going and talking to him. And me and some other people with us kept like laughing because he'd walk like 5 steps and come back. I don't want to bother him. And then it ended up Don Rosa actually got along really well with you, and you guys had
He gave me a bag of peppers. And
I was going to ask if he gave you pepper.
He did. He
He
gave
did.
pepper, so you apparently were okay.
And he got mad at me.
but you were
because-
so afraid to go talk to him.
Well, yeah, that one.
Oh no,
calling
he
his
got mad
stuff.
at you about the
color of the money bin.
money
We had an
bin.
argument about the color of the money bin.
Don's cantankerous. It's like I've worked with him, and he's yelled at me and sent me like really
Oh my God.
really pointed
Yes.
emails and things like that. And then other times he's been just an absolute sweetheart. So
Yeah.
it's just he's just got one of the he's very particular about the things that he believes and especially when it comes to the Ducks and you've got to roll with that. So
Yeah, so it was funny. But yeah, you should get him on here. I'll get if you let me know he's coming ahead, I will make sure I get Neon some Depends, and we'll make sure that he's good to go.
I might just shit my pants a little.
That's why I give you some Depends.
Just a little bit.
We'll get you some Depends. But yeah, Neon would probably freak out if you brought him on.
Yeah, we met in Vader Zim. We hung out with him for a while. It
Yeah.
was pretty cool.
I know Ricky Simmons
Yeah,
actually.
Ricky Simmons. Yeah. It was him
who plays Gur and I know Laura Post, who played Raggio on Kill la Kill, and she was the voice of Harley Quinn in the Telltale Games version of Batman,
R.I.P. Telltale Games.
among other things. And then let's see who else. Ali Moreno, who's the voice of Palm in Them's Fighting Herds, and was one of the voices in Coco. I'm just like trying to run through like people that I know well enough to.
Well,
We
we'll
get bigger. We've only got like 8, but we get bigger. We'll get some voice actors on. I think people will enjoy that. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We'll
you'll
call
have
in
to-
some favors, and we'll get some.
Rob Paulson, but Rob's always busy. But he's,
Okay.
he's
See,
great guy.
here's a funny story. Neon has always envisioned one person to do the voice of our Winston character, and it's always been him.
really.
Yes,
Yes.
but we first made him.
Since before we did Shadowbinders, Winston, actually when I draw the character Winston, I don't know if people here we do have some people read Shadowbinders, but Winston, I always pictured him as Rob Paulson's voice. He did I think it was on Dragon Hunters. He did one of the voice on the movie version, I think, and that was always kind of the voice I had in my head for.
I don't know, but you've
for
always
Winston.
said that.
That
And he was actually
sarcastic-
at a convention we were at was it this summer or last summer?
Yeah, but I didn't have the balls to go up to
He didn't go talk to him.
I
He
should,
didn't
well,
have
I
his
got
depends
busy.
on.
I got busy.
Why would you not? I was gonna say, why would you not? Do I have to go to a show? Do I have to like fly out to a show and like be your
Yes.
wingman and
You
like
should
walk
fly
you
out to a
up?
show just so we can get a table. We have fun. But
No, I
anyway,
just feel okay. See, here's my take. Here's my take on this. And I mean, we used to get invited to cons all the time. We hang out with these people all the time. But I'm also like, these people are working. Like, they don't want people to come up and bug them about.
But they're there to have people
stuff.
come and bug them.
Yeah, I
about
know,
stuff.
but that's when they're on the clock and they're getting paid to do autographs and stuff.
But
Like,
you were going to talk to them when they were on the clock.
Well, yeah, I know, but still, it's...
Like, you know,
But no,
I was
most of
working,
the
he
people,
was working, you know, it would just be weird. It would just be weird. Be like, oh my god, I
Most of
draw
the
this
people-
rabbit, and I've always pictured this rabbit as having your voice. Could you sign this for me? And oh, by the way, I think I shit my pants a little bit. I'll be right back. You know, I mean, come on. You know?
You're saying that like that is an unusual experience for them.
What?
I'm telling you, look, I am such small potatoes in the comic book industry, and I have people come up who are like so excited to meet me that they're nervous and they're dropping things, and I like it boggles my mind because I'm like, I'm just this Yahoo, like you know, you don't have to be. Please don't be impressed with me. I will disappoint you.
that's happened to me before at cons with the comic even, and I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I just sat there like a deer in the headlights, like thanks, because I was like, they're freaking out.
Oh my god,
and
we
I
had
was like,
that. What was that in like DC or something? We did this. Now this is back when our webcomic was pretty sizable. We were we're getting a
I wasn't a
couple
panel.
million.
I wasn't even
page views a
on the
month
panel.
and-
I just went to listen to the panel because when I go to conventions, I don't care if I'm really good at something. I always go to panels that people I know do or on what I do because you can always learn something. I mean, no matter what, you can always learn something new. And I was in there and they asked me if I did webcomics, and I just and they went around the room and I said what I did, and this girl like beside me just starts freaking out. And I was with my one friend, and I didn't know what to do. I was kind of scared. I was like, "You're scared."
It was weird, yeah. This whole like, and people. I mean, the people knew. It's so weird because we just kind of like we're sitting here in in Pennsylvania drawing our comics or whatever, but people like all over the place knew who we were, and kind of like now with the YouTube channel, like we're not that big, but we've got a pretty. I mean, we got like what 300 and some people in here, which is awesome.
Somebody somewhere probably heard of us.
But I'm like, it's just weird. It's just weird that we're just sitting here in our house and doing our thing, and people
We do
are
wear
like, "Oh,
pants though, so there's that.
sometimes."
There's more people in this chat right now than follow my channel.
Oh.
Well, I just wanted
We'll
to
get there,
I wanted
dude.
a bunch of people to come just to make a point. I just wanted to send a message.
Well, yeah, the message is,
wanna send a message.
that's right. We're still gonna talk. We're still gonna. And the thing is we weren't really. I mean, honestly, the video they pulled down, we weren't that negative. Actually, and again, this is kind of with a lot of situations with comics and with Star Wars and with these other. Like, I'm not really soured on the product as much as I am soured on the marketing and the PR people surrounding the product and their treatment of the fans. That bought like Star Wars, like, okay, The Last Jedi, I ain't like it, whatever, maybe the next one will be better, right? But when you see how they, Lucasfilm tends to, get off on attacking the fandom, then I have a problem with it because that's not cool. Like, they didn't like your movie, so what? Move on, make a better movie,
Yeah, Ryan Johnson and Pablo Hidalgo, their reaction to people not liking The Last Jedi like completely turned me off from Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I say that as someone who has a life-size Yoda in his house and a life-size Darth Maul. I'm a Star Wars super fan. I grew up with it, and now I go to the toy section and I don't even like walk past the Star Wars stuff. Which if you would have told me that 5 years ago, I would have said there's no way that's ever going to happen. I'm always going to check. But I just got soured on it. I think, and it kind of like relates to the whole comic thing when professionals say like, oh, that you're not real fans if you disagree with them, and people walk away because I know because I'm one of them. I've walked away from things because of the way that, and not even me directly, but like just the customer. I see customers being treated that way, and I'm like, well, I don't want to support this. I don't want to support this behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
I believe in professionalism. I believe that the people that buy your product, the people that support you, they're the people who make you make your career in the sense of your hard work, but they're the people that keep you employed.
Right.
They're the ones that I owe everything to the people who buy my book. If you come up to me at a show and you've got my book, I owe you an autograph and some conversation because you allowed me to live this dream for at least a little while.
Yeah, it's nice, Speaking of books, oh, by the way, before I forget, we have like 10 of them left.
We're doing another print run.
So if anybody's interested in you said books, reminded me. If anybody's interested in the Shadowbinders book, you need to. What can they write you at?
You have
shout out ClownFishTV.
Oh yeah, you want one too. So we had 8 left.
So we got 8 left. Shout out ClownFishTV.com. There are a couple on Amazon. A couple. They're hard.
Are there?
Yeah, we only had a print run of like 1,000 of that book.
But we're getting more.
Yeah, we are getting
for
more.
now, if anybody wants any.
But it's so weird. Like we did the
People were asking the other day,
we did
I
the
forgot
YouTube
to
channel
answer.
for a couple months, and people were like, "Wait, you guys made comics?" I'm like, "Yeah, we worked in comics for a while," and then we had to they just thought we just popped up overnight on YouTube, I guess. But we do have some books. But people are talking about again. that
Oh, somebody reroots She-Ra dolls hair. I've done rerooted hair on like ponies and stuff. I haven't done it on She-Ra dolls because it's really hard to reroot that hair. And on the She-Ra dolls, it's like, you know, how am I going to get that little head with lots of hair? But go ahead.
I
was just saw the
I
comment.
always wonder that too. Like, how can
How
I
are you
get
going to get this little head with lots of hair?
But glue. That's all that's left for me now. I shaved my head. But yeah, like Star Wars, like I just don't care anymore. I'm completely apathetic, and that's sad. That's really sad. I mean, I was even looking forward to the prequels. Even after the Phantom Menace, I was excited, you know, for episode 2 and 3, and I just don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
And that's
I think there was a lot of stuff that I mean, the prequels weren't great in my opinion, but you know, there's a lot of things that I still loved, and I still bought the toys, and I still, you know, like projected my own imagination into, you know, kind of like what I would have done with those stories, you know, and with the new movies, with the exception of Rogue One, which I absolutely loved, I don't care. Like the worst thing is like you've made me not hate it. You've made me indifferent, which is maybe even worse.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at with it too. Like I just am burnt out, and I'm tired of, you know, talking about, fighting about it, being disappointed in it. It's like a weird, like an abusive relationship. Like, you know, you're gonna get smacked, so just, you know, break up and move on. And that's kind of how I feel about, you know, Star Wars right now. Is like, I know we're gonna get smacked, so just.
I am sort of interested in the you know, since they announced the TV series is called The Mandalorian. I hope it's not about Boba Fett, because I don't want Boba Fett ruined the way that like Luke and Leia and Han have been ruined for me. Yeah. You know, I don't want it to be about an existing character. Just tell another story about a Mandalorian character. You know, make it an original thing. That's what I'm hoping from it. But I am, you know, they did get a little bit of my interest back, so maybe they can win me.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Jon Favreau, I think, you know, if anybody can pull it off, I think he could. So who knows?
Hopefully.
They're gonna let Taika Waititi direct an episode, so.
Yeah.
What we do in the shadows is one of my favorite movies. If you guys haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows, do yourself a favor and go watch it. It is
okay.
It is hilarious. I absolutely love that movie. It is completely quotable.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to check that. Definitely have to check that out.
Okay.
For those of you that don't know, it's about 3 vampires sharing a flat. Well, 4 vampires sharing a flat in New Zealand.
Oh, okay. Okay, that's not something you hear every day. So
yeah.
That's a cool premise. Definitely check that out. Geeky, do you have anything you want to add here?
No, just like I said, you know, if you want to watch it, that's fine. We're not going to judge you. If we don't like it, then, you know, you have to understand and accept that we don't like it, and that's just the way it is. And yelling at us isn't going to make us like it suddenly. No. Also, I probably will check it out. If it's good, I will say so. I'm not holding my breath, but if it's good, I'll say so. And if you want to create things, go create things and make your own stuff, because you know what? I think if you don't, there's nothing out there that you see that you like, you're probably not the only person who sees things that, you know, is looking for something. Make it, because maybe somebody else is looking for the same thing. Yeah,
and that's really where we want to go, you know, in the future with this channel. I'm gonna send you guys an invite to our Discord if you haven't joined already. It's completely free. It's a message board. Please join. We got 250 people over there that talk regularly. Very good crew. But you know, we want to kind of shift gears and go from, you know, complaining about the things that we don't like to you know, helping. That is this to helping. It's very busy over there. Beeps all day long. To helping people, you know, make their own stuff, and, you know, from you know, start to finish and getting it out there, because I really feel that's gonna be the future. You know, like, it seems like the mainstream is kind of letting us down these days. Like, I think the future is going to be independent comics, independent games, independent movies, animation projects. And if we want to see change, we want to see new stuff instead of the same things regurgitated again and again and again, then we're going to have to make them.
And anything you want to add, Aaron?
I mean, I'd love to regurgitate a bunch of old stuff for you, but I would try to give it to you in a way that you would like.
Yeah, pretty much.
So. No, thanks. You know, thanks everybody for coming. It's always fun to come on. And just to stave off any haters that might be lighting me up on Twitter right now, I am going to give the new She-Ra a chance when the actual show comes out. I'm going to watch it.
Same here.
Like it. And if I don't like it, I just won't watch it. You know, it's like, I'll move on.
It's not for you.
Yeah, it's not for me. You know what? Everything is for me.
It's all for me. Oh man, Terry.
You own it all.
Oh my God, Terry owns us now. This This broadcast sponsored by Terry Bogard. Thank you very much, Terry. To me, you guys, EVS, I love comics. Edwin Boyette, Tug, yeah, we love Tug, and Doomcock are my favorite movie stars. I've seen Doomcock. His icon kind of scares me. I'll have to check him out though. I love your channels, and you're helping me build mine.
Oh, good. We want to
thank
help
you.
people build
We
theirs.
want people to make stuff. Go make stuff. Go make stuff. And we feel the same about Sheeran. We said that in the video yesterday. That, you know, we'll give it a chance. You know, we might like it. It might be an enjoyable show. I mean, like I said, if it didn't have the She-Ra name attached to it and the expectations of what She-Ra is supposed to be attached to it, I think I'd be like, yeah, it looks like a pretty fun show. Maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
but
like another
because
Steven Universe type show that I check out.
right, but since it's called She-Ra, I'm expecting more She-Ra from my She-Ra. So
yeah, the comparison's going to be inevitable, and sometimes I think maybe they are crippling the new show by hanging that legacy around its neck. You know, it's like if I'm sorry, what's her name? Who's the showrunner?
Noelle Stevenson.
Noelle Stevenson. If she wanted to create something original, and you know, why wouldn't they let her? It could have been something really good, and she could really like put her stamp on it and made it her own, or let her do Nimona. Like, you know, that's her property, and obviously she has a lot of love for it, and it'd probably be really great. So I think sometimes like I worry that sometimes creators are set up to fail too by, you know, these edicts that like, no, you can't do an original thing. You got to do She-Ra, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, what do I do with that?
Yeah.
It's like, let's get the folder of IP that we own, and we'll just thumb through it, and we'll give you one.
Which one suits the best? Yeah.
Which one matches the best with what you want to do?
They're like, Richie Rich? Casper? No.
Nope,
She-Ra.
Nope.
Yeah, there you go, She-Ra.
Oh, the Happy Days cartoon.
Happy Days.
Heathcliff.
There we go. He was the
Long as they-
smarter, better Garfield.
Long as
Okay,
they
so we're
keep
gonna
that,
wrap.
theme song.
I have that thing stuck in my head now, by the way. Go ahead.
We're gonna wrap this one up, guys. Thank you, Aaron, so much for stopping by again. You're welcome to pop by anytime you want to. Thank you, Geeky, for
Oh yeah, I'm always
popping
here.
by
Thank
again.
you for the gift of me.
You're more than welcome to share the living space with me.
Oh, geez, how nice. Oh, well, wait, you're the man.
I'm the man.
You're more than welcome.
I give you.
You're more than welcome to be allowed to share the living space with me.
I was going to give you my permission.
I don't need your permission.
Be here.
I'm the woman. I don't need your permission. You need
She don't need no man, Tom. You better back up.
You need mine.
I know that too. Like, I'm just lucky to be here. I know that.
I love
You better come
Mr.
correct.
Geeky.
He knows I love him.
So, and I love you too.
Okay.
We're not gonna smooch on camera.
Let's just wrap this up though, because
Okay,
my dad needs you to call him back.
Oh, okay. All right. So, yeah, please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. We just hit over 8,000 during this live stream, which is pretty cool. Hopefully it stays over there.
Of course they're doing Heathcliff. They're doing everything.
Yeah, and stay tuned to the channel for more pop culture news, views, rants. We're gonna do some art videos, we do some gaming videos, and hopefully in the future
If
we're
you
gonna
want
do
to
more.
see slimy pooping unicorns, we have that too. If you look in the history
We do. We're a potpourri of
things.
things and
We're a
stuff.
potpourri of things.
Things and stuff. So, all right, guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Geeky.
You're welcome.
And good night.
Bye.